Pokémon, the ultimate trainer. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 376 National Competition Finals. The next morning, urged by the familiar alarm, Zhang Cheng got up and started a new day. Today is the day of the finals. After many twists and turns, he finally met Yixian. The two will face off again. In the previous battles, although Zhang Cheng defeated Yixian, each time was a narrow victory. Yixian has also been getting stronger. Zhang Cheng is not 100% sure that he can definitely defeat Yixian. Thinking of this, Zhang Cheng came to the competition venue and waited quietly for the game to start. The competition site was already crowded with people. The finals of the national college competition still attracted a lot of attention. Before the finals, Zhang Cheng and Yixian tacitly did not contact each other and waited quietly for the game to come. In the preparation room of Kyoto University, Luluan asked Yixian beside him, "How confident are you in today's finals? Don't ask, just ask 100%. Yixian's calm voice came out. "Good guy, you are so confident," Luluan said in disbelief. Luluan had fought with Zhang Cheng before, so he naturally knew how strong Zhang Cheng was. It was unbelievable that Yixian dared to say that he was 100% sure. "If you don't have confidence in yourself, you will definitely lose," Yixian said coldly. "I am 100% sure in every battle." At the same time, a girl with milky white hair suddenly walked into the preparation room where Zhang Cheng was, and whispered to Zhang Cheng, "Do your best in today's game. Trainers from all over China are watching." "Sister," Zhang Cheng said in surprise, "why did you come here suddenly without telling me in advance?" "Of course it was to give you a surprise," Bai Yuling said playfully. "How are the family affairs handled?" Zhang Cheng asked with concern. Bai Yuling has rarely had time to contact Zhang Cheng since graduating from Magic City University. "There are many things in the family that need to be handled. It's almost done," Bai Yuling said with some regret. "I also participated in the national competition here a few years ago, but unfortunately I didn't win the championship in the end. The strongest trainer of Kyoto University was too terrifying. In that national competition, Bai Yuling made it to the finals with her overwhelming strength, but she was helpless. The trainer she met in the finals had a large number of powerful steel-type elves, and she was completely restrained in terms of attributes, and finally lost. What my sister couldn't do, let me do it again," Zhang Cheng said as he looked at the battlefield below. "Well, my sister believes in you," Bai Yuling's gentle voice came. "Please prepare for the entry of both contestants. The game will start soon." The referee's voice came from the radio, reminding Zhang Cheng and Yixian to enter the competition venue. "The finals will start soon." Zhang Cheng walked out of the preparation room slowly and walked towards the final area. In the preparation room of Kyoto University, Yixian and Zhang Cheng walked towards the final stage step by step. The two walked in unison, stepped on the steps, and finally appeared on both sides of the battlefield at the same time, and then looked at each other. "This day has finally come," Yixian spoke first. "Yet, I didn't expect it to come so soon. Another duel between us, and also a duel on the highest stage," Zhang Cheng said with some emotion. "This time, I will definitely win." Yixian's voice was unquestionable. "I believe in your strength. And I also believe in myself." Zhang Cheng took out a Pokeball while speaking. "Come on, the long-awaited duel." Yixian also took out a Pokeball from behind. Both sides are in position. The game begins. The referee's voice suddenly sounded when the atmosphere reached its peak. "Lucario, prepare for battle. Electric Dragon, it's up to you." The starting Pokemon sent by both sides this time did not play according to the routine. After comprehensive consideration, Yixian chose to send out the powerful Lucario, hoping to open the situation with Luca. Zhang Cheng knew that Yixian probably didn't have a ground-type Pokemon in his hand. The only thing that Electric Dragon feared was the ground type. Without the existence of ground-type Pokemon, Electric Dragon could maximize its role. An Electric Dragon also has a restraining effect on Yixian's Butterfree. If Yixian sent Butterfree, he would have an advantage in attributes. The detection system was opened skillfully, and various data of Lucario appeared in Zhang Cheng's mind. Name, Lucario, level 69, gender, male, qualification, attributes, fighting, steel carrying props, metal film, a special metal film. The power of steel-based skills used by the Pokémon will be enhanced after carrying it. Basic skills: Wave Missile, Flash of Lightning, Sword Dance, Metal Sound, Bone Stick Hit, Quick Defense, One Step Ahead, Self-Motivation, Meditation, Healing Wave, Close Combat, Dragon Wave, Quick Insight, See-Through, Metal Claws, Sharpening, Double Return, Feint, Enhanced Fist Learning Skills, Destructive Ray, Hold, Shadow Clone, Rock Slide, Tile Splitting, Cannon Beam Cannon, Shadow Claws. Inherited skills: Kick Down, Cross Chop, Bite, Eye of the Heart. Characteristics: Heart of Justice. Pokémon with this characteristic will have their attack power increased because of their sense of justice when attacked by evil. Attribute skills. Note: Lucario, a wave Pokémon, is the evolved form of Railu. By receiving the wave guide emitted by the opponent, you can read the opponent's thoughts and actions. Zhang Cheng remembered that the item that Yion's Lucario originally carried was a black belt that amplified the power of fighting skills. Now it has been replaced with a metal film that enhances the power of steel skills. It is obvious that it is to deal with Zhang Cheng's flying Pokémon. The effect of fighting skills is not good for Zhang Cheng's Pidgeot and Togekiss. It is more appropriate to choose steel skills as the main attack method. Lucario, Mega Evolution. Yion took out the evolution crystal, and a mixed energy of fighting and steel attributes burst out. Under the influence of this energy, Lucario completed Mega Evolution and became Super Lucario. Yion placed most of his bets on Super Lucario. He wanted to defeat Zhang Cheng's first few Pokémon through Super Lucario. Zhang Cheng could understand Yion's move to directly let Lucario Mega Evolve. The three-headed dragon cannot Mega Evolve, so Lucario and Heracross are the best choices for Mega Evolution. However, Yion has two powerful flying-type Pokémons, so it is difficult for Heracross to perform well. Therefore, it is the best choice to Mega Evolve Lucario. Dianlong, use Thunder. Zhang Cheng commanded the Dianlong to take the lead in launching an offensive and seize the initiative in the battle. Chapter 377 Super Lucario. Meow Meow. After receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions, the Thunder Dragon quickly condensed the electric energy and turned into a terrifying Thunder Dragon. After the Thunder Dragon appeared, it attacked Super Lucario with powerful electricity. Super Lucario, use the Wave Missile. Because the Steel-type skills are not very effective against the Thunder Dragon, Yion chose to let Super Lucario use high-powered fighting-type skills to fight head-on. Super Lucario clenched his fists, and a powerful wave force burst out from his body. Under the control of Super Lucario, the wave force was fused and compressed to form a missile with extremely powerful power. The wave missile flew out and collided with the attacking Thunder Dragon. Before Super Lucario's Mega Evolution, the special attack strength of Super Lucario was relatively close to that of the Thunder Dragon, but now that the Mega Evolution of Lucario has been completed, both attacks have been improved to a certain extent, and the special attack strength has exceeded that of the Thunder Dragon. The Thunder Dragon and the Wave Force collided in mid-air, and a large amount of aftermath spread out. In the end, the wave power was better. After dispersing the shadow of Thunder Dragon, it carried the remaining energy and hit the body of Lightning Dragon. Lightning Dragon was attacked by the wave power, and 1/5 of its health was knocked down. Most of the wave power had been dissolved, so Lightning Dragon did not suffer too much damage. Super Lucario, use Sword Dance. After seeing that the wave missile just now did not knock down too much of Lightning Dragon's health, Yion chose to let Super Lucario use Sword Dance to amplify its own attack, and then launch an offensive. After receiving Yion's order, Super Lucario began to do a strange dance, as if holding an invisible sword in his hand. The Sword Dance skill was successfully launched, and Super Lucario's attack power was greatly enhanced. Lightning Dragon, use Charging. Zhang Cheng also let Lightning Dragon use a transformation skill that can enhance the power of skills, but the difference from the Sword Dance used by Super Lucario is that the Sword Dance can increase the power for a long time, while the Charging skill can only amplify the power of Lightning Dragon's next electric skill. The rich electric energy converged towards the Electric Dragon, and the electric energy stored in the Electric Dragon's body was at its limit. Now, the Electric Dragon uses the electromagnetic cannon. After the charging was completed, Zhang Cheng did not hesitate to let the Electric Dragon use the most powerful electric skill he mastered. Mimi. Mimi, the Electric Dragon screamed, and the electric current that had long been stored in its body overflowed crazily, and the extremely rich electric current merged with the external electric energy. Under the control of the Electric Dragon, These two powerful currents merged into one and compressed into an electromagnetic cannon with amazing lethality. After the electromagnetic cannon appeared, the electric dragon used its own power to control it to bombard the Super Lucario. Super Lucario used close combat. With the increase of the sword dance skill, Yiyan was very confident in the attack power of Super Lucario. Facing the terrifying attack of the electric dragon, he directly chose to let Super Lucario use the strongest fighting skill close combat to fight head-on. Super Lucario's eyes were fierce, and he showed no fear at all when facing the electromagnetic cannon. His hands and body were filled with a lot of fighting energy. Super Lucario used his legs to exert force, and swung his fists to attack the electromagnetic cannon head-on. The electromagnetic cannon shells with extreme power were fired out, colliding with the fighting energy in Super Lucario's hand. The electromagnetic cannon of the electric dragon had the charging skill, the power of the system, and the blessing of the prop magnet, and the power was terrifying. After a period of collision, the energy in Super Lucario's hand was about to be consumed, and the electromagnetic cannon shells in front of him still had a lot of current bursting. Finally, the fighting energy in Super Lucario's hand was consumed, and the electromagnetic cannon shells were no longer blocked, and they directly bombarded Super Lucario's body. Super Lucario's defense was not strong. After being hit by the electromagnetic cannon, his health was knocked down by 3/5, and he also fell into a paralyzed state, and his speed was greatly reduced. What a horrible attack! Yiyan was very surprised when he saw the wounds on Super Lucario. He didn't expect Zhang Cheng's Dragon Knight to be able to launch such a strong attack. However, Yiyan was not too panicked, because he knew that Dragon Knight's attack was so powerful only under the amplification of a charging skill, and Dragon Knight's next attack would not be so powerful. Super Lucario used close combat again. Yiyan used the same trick again and commanded Super Lucario to launch a close combat again. Using close combat skills will reduce Super Lucario's own defense, but Yiyan is not worried about this. In his opinion, attack is the best defense. As long as Super Lucario's attack is strong enough, there is no need to worry about defense. After receiving the instructions from the trainer, Super Lucario began to condense the fighting energy around him again. The rich fighting energy surrounded Super Lucario's whole body. When the power reached a sufficient level, Super Lucario used both legs to rush towards Dragon Knight quickly. Electric Dragon, use 100,000 volts to repel Super Lucario. Facing the powerful attack of Super Lucario, Zhang Cheng did not choose to defend. It was meaningless to defend blindly. He wanted to take advantage of the time when Electric Dragon was in good condition and cause as much damage to Super Lucario as possible. Meow. Meow. Electric Dragon gathered the electric attribute energy, and under the control of Electric Dragon, these energies turned into high-voltage currents and struck the rushing Super Lucario. A large amount of high-voltage currents flew and electrocuted Super Lucario, but the fighting energy on Super Lucario's body was too strong. After these currents came into contact with Super Lucario, they were dissolved by these fighting energies. In the end, Electric Dragon's 100,000 volts did not cause substantial damage to Super Lucario, but only reduced the power of the opponent's attack. Without the blessing of the charging skill, Lucario with high attack power has the increase brought by the sword dance, and the difference in attack power between the two sides soon became apparent. After dissolving the 100,000 volt electric current, Super Lucario continued to exert his strength and soon arrived in front of the Electric Dragon. Close combat began, and the violent fighting energy all bombarded the body of the Electric Dragon. The Electric Dragon was directly blown away by Super Lucario's powerful attack, and its health value quickly dropped to only 1/5. Super Lucario used the Wave Missile. The Wave Missile is a tracking skill. It is impossible for the elves to dodge it with their speed. Using the Wave Missile with a very high hit rate to attack the remaining health of the Electric Dragon is the best choice. After receiving Yiyan's order, Super Lucario skillfully condensed the fighting energy, and a large amount of wave power merged together to form wave missiles. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 378 The Fast-Swimming Frog Breaks the Game. After the wave missiles condensed into shape, they were fired at the Thunder Dragon under the control of Super Lucario. Thunder Dragon, Use hold. Facing the wave missiles launched by Super Lucario, Zhang Cheng knew that it was impossible to dodge, and the only way to choose to resist with a hold skill was to use the current Thunder Dragon to lose its combat capability if it was attacked again. Thunder Dragon, who had rich combat experience, was very calm in the face of this situation. After receiving the instructions from the trainer, he quickly condensed energy to form a transparent barrier. Soon after the hold barrier appeared, a large number of wave missiles attacked, and the magical wave power continued to hit the barrier. However, the barrier created by Thunder Dragon was still stable, and the wave missiles launched by Super Lucario could not break through in a short time. Super Lucario, don't give Thunder Dragon a chance to attack, continue to use the wave missiles. Yan asked Super Lucario to continue to launch missiles through the wave power, not giving Thunder Dragon any chance. Super Lucario nodded, and just as he was about to continue to condense energy to launch wave missiles, his whole body suddenly lost consciousness. The electromagnetic cannon used by the Lightning Dragon just now paralyzed the Super Lucario. Now the paralysis effect was triggered, directly interrupting the attack of the Super Lucario. Now, the Lightning Dragon uses thunder. Zhang Cheng was waiting for such an opportunity, and then the Super Lucario was paralyzed and entered a state of stiffness, and the Lightning Dragon had a chance to counterattack. Of course, this was also a gamble. If the Super Lucario did not fall into a state of paralysis, the Lightning Dragon would be forced to defend and would not have any chance to counterattack. The Lightning Dragon also knew that this was its only chance. At the same time that Zhang Cheng gave the order, the Lightning Dragon had accumulated rich electric energy. This energy formed a shadow of a Thunder Dragon above the head of the Lightning Dragon. After the Thunder Dragon appeared, it opened its fangs and mouth and bit the Super Lucario. The Super Lucario, who was in a stiff state, had no choice but to watch the Thunder Dragon swallow him. The Super Lucario was hit by the thunder attack head-on, and its health value was reduced again, leaving less than 1/5 of it. But after being attacked, Super Lucario relied on his strong willpower to force himself out of the paralysis state. Good job, Super Lucario. Use the healing wave. Seeing that Super Lucario broke through the paralysis effect on his own, Yan was overjoyed and quickly asked Super Lucario to use recovery skills to repair his own injuries first. After completely relieving the paralysis state, Super Lucario's speed returned to its peak state, and a large amount of psychic energy was condensed in a very short time. These psychic energies turned into gentle healing waves, which continued to heal Super Lucario's injuries. Because the maximum health of the Electric Dragon is a little higher than that of the Super Lucario, after using the healing wave, the health of the Super Lucario has been restored to 3/4, and it has left the danger zone. Electric Dragon, use electromagnetic waves. Seeing that Super Lucario has restored his health, Zhang Cheng knew that there was not much time left for the Electric Dragon. The speed of Super Lucario is much faster than that of Dragonite. Before the attack of Super Lucario came, Dragonite did not have enough time to launch the electromagnetic cannon. So at this critical moment, Zhang Cheng chose to let Dragonite launch the basic electric skill electromagnetic wave at the fastest speed, paralyzing Super Lucario again, and then let other elves deal with Super Lucario. Dragonite is naturally familiar with the use of electromagnetic wave skills. After receiving the command, it uses a very short time to create some subtle electric currents. After these electric currents appear, they quickly hit the body of Super Lucario, and Super Lucario, who was just about to condense the power of waves, fell into a paralyzed state again. Super Lucario used the wave missile to defeat the Dragonite. Yan felt that the Dragonite was a scourge and must be solved as soon as possible, otherwise he didn't know what operations he could do later. Super Lucario also agreed deeply, and quickly controlled the power of the wave guide to form wave missiles to shoot at the Dragonite. Dragonite was too late to build a barrier and could only let the wave missiles attack. The powerful wave force hit Dragonite, and Dragonite, with only 1/5 of its health left, could not withstand such an attack and lost its combat ability. You've worked hard, come back and rest, Dragonite. Zhang Cheng quickly took out the Pokeball and took back the Dragonite that had lost its combat ability. Frog, it's decided to be you. The second Pokemon Zhang Cheng chose to go into battle was Frog. Frog, which was good at fighting skills, was very effective against Mega Lucario. Yobo, Frog appeared in the battlefield and was immediately full of fighting spirit when he saw Mega Lucario. It just liked to fight head-on with other fighting Pokemon. Melee, Yi Tian knew very well how strong Zhang Cheng's frog was, so he didn't dare to be careless. He immediately let Mega Lucario launch a fierce attack, trying to suppress Frog in terms of momentum. Super Lucario filled his body with fighting energy and swung his fists to attack Frog. Come on, Frog, use the explosive punch. Zhang Cheng commanded Frog to launch the same fighting skill of close-range collision, and the two Pokémon were about to engage in melee. Yobo! Yobo! Seeing the attacking Super Lucario, Frog became excited instantly, gathered all the fighting energy on his right fist, and then blasted it hard in the direction of Super Lucario's attack. The two fighting energies collided, and layers of shock waves spread out, but the bodies of Frog and Super Lucario did not move at all, and the two sides remained deadlocked in place. Yobo! Frog roared, and the power in his body burst out again, directly knocking Super Lucario away and smashing him to the edge of the battlefield. Frog's explosive punch has the power of the original system and the blessing of the black belt props. The power is not bad, and there is also the existence of attribute restraint. After Mega Lucario used close combat many times, his double defense was already very low. He was thrown out by the powerful punch of Frog, and 3/4 of his health was directly emptied. After losing his combat ability, Mega Lucario's body also shrank rapidly and turned back to its pre-Mega evolution state. You've done well, come back, Lucario. Yi Tian took back Lucario with a somewhat ugly look. Originally, Yi Tian wanted to rely on the strength of Mega Lucario to at least defeat Zhang Cheng's two Pokémon, but now he only replaced an Elite Dragon and lost a main Pokémon. This battle will be very difficult for Yi Tian. Chapter 379 The Magical Effects of Bodybuilding. Heracross, prepare for battle. The second elf Yi Tian chose to send out was the Heracross with high physical attack. Zhang Cheng was very clear about the strength of this Heracross. The detection system was turned on, and Zhang Cheng aimed his sight at Heracross, checking its various data. Name, Heracross, level 69, gender, male appearance, attributes, fighting, bug-carrying props, black belt, a black belt that can cheer up the spirit. The power of the fighting skills used by the elf after carrying this prop will be increased. Basic skills, horn collision, hold on, stare, push, seed machine gun, feint, swallow return, gradual breakdown, double return, random attack, tile splitting, missile needle, ram, super horn attack, close combat, resurrection learning skills, hold, sword dance, rockfall, tile splitting, swallow return, true key bomb, heavy stomp, bodybuilding, sharp stone attack inherited skills, super horn attack, earth throw, endurance, self-sacrifice collision characteristics, bug premonition. When the health value of the elf with this characteristic is below a certain level, the power of the bug attribute skills will be improved. Note, Heracross, a one-horned Pokémon, has a gentle personality and great strength. He is good at using his horn to drill into the enemy's lower abdomen and then pick up the enemy. His favorite food is the sweet branches flowing from trees. Heracross, use sword dance. Yi Tian intends to use sword dance to increase Heracross's physical attack, and then use high-powered fighting skills to defeat Frog. After receiving Yi Tian's order, Heracross stood in place and used sword dance. After the sword dance was completed, a white light emerged from Heracross's body, and the physical attack was greatly increased. Frog used the Eye of the Heart. While Heracross was launching the sword dance, Zhang Cheng was naturally not idle. Yobo, a layer of special energy covered the eyes of Frog. Under the effect of this energy, the hit rate of Frog's next skill will reach 100%. Heracross, use melee combat. After being enhanced by the sword dance skill, Heracross's attack power has reached a very powerful level. Yi Tian directly commanded Heracross to use a powerful melee combat. A large amount of fighting energy gathered around Heracross's body. These energies surrounded Heracross's body and attacked together with Heracross. Heracross's melee attack was very oppressive, and its lethality was no less than the melee combat used by Mega Lucario just now. Fast swim Frog, now is the time to use Hypnosis. Looking at the attacking Heracross, Zhang Cheng quickly commanded Fast swim Frog to use Hypnosis. With a blessing of the Eye of the Heart, Heracross could not dodge this Hypnosis at all. Yobo after receiving the order, Fast swim Frog quickly absorbed the psychic energy, and these energies formed hypnotic sound waves under the transformation of Fast swim Frog. The fast-swimming frog opened its mouth, and a large number of hypnotic sound waves flew towards Zero who was rushing towards it. With a blessing of the Eye of the Heart, The hypnosis emitted by the fast-swimming frog easily hit Heracross. Under the influence of the hypnotic sound waves, Heracross soon felt weak and sleepy, and the strong fighting energy on his body gradually dissipated, and soon he fell into a state of sleep. Fast-swimming frog, use bodybuilding, while Heracross fell into a state of sleep. Zhang Cheng commanded the fast-swimming frog to enhance its own attributes through bodybuilding. Bodybuilding skills can increase physical attack and physical defense. Most of the skills that the fast-swimming frog is good at are physical attack skills, and the opponent Heracross's attacks are also physical attack types. The attributes amplified by bodybuilding can be perfectly utilized by the fast-swimming frog. Yobo the fast-swimming frog clenched his fists, and the strong muscles on his arms were revealed. A large amount of fighting energy also gathered at this time. Under the effect of this energy, the physical attack and physical defense of the fast-swimming frog were successfully improved. Froglet, continue to use bodybuilding, and don't stop until Heracross wakes up. Zhang Cheng continued to let Froglet use bodybuilding, and as long as Heracross didn't wake up, the attributes would continue to be stacked. Yobo, Froglet skillfully performed bodybuilding movements, absorbing fighting energy to increase its own attributes. It was not until Froglet used bodybuilding for the third time that Heracross woke up from his sleep. Heracross, use tile breaking. Yan quickly commanded Heracross to launch a powerful attack to prevent Froglet from continuing to enhance its attributes through bodybuilding. Heracross had just woken up, and after receiving the trainer's instructions, he did not hesitate at all, and quickly condensed the energy on his right palm and chopped at the position where Froglet was. Froglet, use waterfall climbing attack. After the 3 bodybuilding improvements, Froglet's attack power was no longer inferior to Heracross, and its defense power was even more overwhelming than Heracross. Facing Heracross's active attack, Zhang Cheng wanted nothing more than to let the fast-swimming frog fight head-on. Yobo, the fast-swimming frog looked fierce, and added the power of the water element to its strong body, and then rushed towards Heracross, who launched the tile splitting. The palm of Heracross's hand that launched the tile splitting collided with the body of the fast-swimming frog filled with the power of the water element. The fast-swimming frog's defense was already very strong at this time, and Heracross's tile splitting attack only knocked off 1/5 of the fast-swimming frog's health. After resisting the damage of the tile splitting, a powerful water attribute energy surged out of the fast-swimming frog's body, and its strong body exerted force again to knock Heracross out. The knocked away Heracross lost his center of gravity and fell directly to the ground, and a hole was smashed into the hard battlefield. Under the powerful blow of the fast-swimming frog, Heracross's health was directly halved, and he was severely injured in an instant. Heracross, cheer up, use resurrection. Seeing that Heracross was severely injured, Yan used the characteristics of the resurrection skill to maximize its power. The less HP the elf who used the resurrection skill had, the more powerful the skill would be. Heracross slowly stood up, enduring the severe pain in his body and continuing to absorb fighting energy. With a blessing of sword dance and the resurrection skill, a powerful force quickly erupted, and Heracross attacked the frog again with this force. Frog, use guard. Zhang Cheng knew that this was Heracross's desperate counterattack, so there was no need to confront him head-on. He could first resolve the opponent's attack, and then defeat Heracross with powerful water skills. Chapter 380, Another Battle with Butterfly. Yobo the fast-swimming frog also knew the situation of Heracross at this time, and immediately created a protective barrier with the energy absorbed. Heracross's huge body hid him, and the sharp horns poked fiercely, and a large number of cracks suddenly appeared on the hard barrier. Under Heracross's continuous attack, countless cracks appeared on the transparent barrier like a spider web, and with a click, the entire barrier finally shattered. After breaking through the barrier, there was no obstacle in front of Heracross. The powerful fighting energy and the sharp horns hit the belly of the fast-swimming frog. The abdomen was violently attacked, and the fast-swimming frog let out a painful cry. With a blessing of 3 layers of bodybuilding, the health value was reduced to 2/5. Heracross's attack was really terrifying. Fast-swimming frog used the explosive punch to hit Heracross back. At this time, the distance between the fast-swimming frog and Heracross was very short, and Heracross had no time to resist the explosive punch. Fighting skills are not very effective against Heracross, but Frog has the blessing of bodybuilding skills and black belt props, so its power is not much different. The most important thing is that the explosive punch launched by Frog will have a confusion effect. This is Zhang Cheng's goal. As long as Heracross is thrown into a state of confusion, it will be much easier to deal with him next. Yobo, Frog was extremely angry after being hit in the abdomen. The next second after receiving the order from the trainer, he poured out the fighting energy in his body. Frog swung his fists violently, and the rich fighting energy burst out together. The powerful impact shook Heracross away. After being attacked by Frog, Heracross's health value was less than 1/3, and a large amount of insect energy emerged uncontrollably in his body. This is a sign that Heracross's characteristic bug premonition has been triggered. The power of the insect skills used by Heracross next will be very powerful. Heracross, burst out your strongest power and use Super Horn attack. Seeing that Heracross's characteristics were triggered, Yixian chose to let him use the insect-type ultimate move Super Horn attack without hesitation. Heracross is good at using horn attacks. Now using the Super Horn attack of this system has additional power blessing, and the attack power is very strong. After receiving Yixian's order, Heracross gathered the insect attribute energy that spread out of his body on the sharp horn, preparing to launch a Super Horn attack. But at this moment, Heracross felt a little confused in his brain, and the confusion effect caused by the burst punch of the fast-swimming frog just now was triggered. After falling into a state of confusion, Heracross began to lose consciousness and used the condensed insect energy to attack himself. The opportunity is here. Fast-swimming frog, use Hell Roll. Seeing that Heracross fell into a state of confusion, Zhang Cheng immediately commanded the fast-swimming frog to launch an attack and seized the opportunity to defeat Heracross directly. At this time, Heracross, who had triggered the insect premonition, was very strong. If he was not eliminated at the opportunity, there would be endless troubles. Yobo Frog opened his arms and came to Heracross, activated the fighting energy, and directly hugged Heracross in the chaos, and then rolled wildly on the ground together. During the rolling, Frog continued to send out fighting power from his body to hit Heracross's body. After the Hell Roll, Heracross's health was emptied and fell to the ground without fighting ability. Come back, Heracross. Yixian quickly took out the Pokeball to take back Heracross, who had lost his fighting ability. Seeing that Yixian had already lost 2 Pokemon, the trainers watching were also a little surprised. They didn't expect Yixian to encounter such a big headwind right at the beginning. Yixian, you have to hold on, kid, and leave the championship of the national competition in our Kyoto University, Luluan muttered to himself while looking at the battlefield below. Zhang Cheng, come on, Bai Yuling said silently in her heart while watching the situation of the game in the preparation area. I didn't expect you to be so strong. Yixian took out the 3rd Pokeball and said solemnly. You are also very strong. The outcome is still unknown until the last moment, Zhang Cheng replied. It's your turn, Butterfree. Yixian said nothing more and sent out his initial Pokemon Butterfree to fight. Seeing Butterfree appear, Zhang Cheng was on full alert. If it was another trainer's Butterfree, Zhang Cheng would not feel any pressure at all, but Yixian's Butterfree was different. Zhang Cheng had experienced the power of this Butterfree many times. After seeing Butterfree, Zhang Cheng quickly turned on the detection system to check the specific data of Butterfree. Name, Butterfree, level 69, gender, female, qualification, A attributes, insect, flying carrot items, wide-angle mirror, a lens that can magnify objects when viewing. The hit rate of skills used by the Pokemon will be improved after carrying it. Basic skills, impact, silk spinning, insect bite, hardening, wind, telekinesis, poison powder, paralysis powder, hypnotic powder, illusion ray, silver tornado, ultrasonic wave, mystical guardian, blowing away, insect chirping, angry powder, butterfly dance, tailwind, air/learning skills, destructive ray, solar beam, poisonous, psychic power, 100,000 volts, hold, shadow clone, feather roost. Inherited skills, none. Characteristics, compound eyes. Pokemon with this characteristic will have a higher hit rate when using skills. Note, Butterfree, a butterfly-type Pokemon, is the evolved form of Metapod and can bounce on the water with the help of the scales on its wings. After understanding the current situation of Butterfree, Zhang Cheng also had a way to deal with it. Yixian's Butterfree has the characteristics of compound eyes and wide-angle lenses, and the hit rate of hypnotic powder is extremely high. He must wait until the opponent attacks first, otherwise it will be very troublesome to be hit by hypnotic powder. Seeing that Zhang Cheng did not command the fast-swimming frog to act, Yixian already knew the opponent's idea. In this case, then I will attack first. Butterfree, use the anger powder. Yian commanded Butterfree to sprinkle the anger powder. The elves hit by the anger powder will be very angry and forced to attack Butterfree for a period of time. It is a skill similar to provocation. Butterfree flapped its wings, and a large amount of anger powder fell and quickly floated to the location of the fast-swimming frog. Fast-swimming frog, use guard. Zhang Cheng did not dare to let the fast-swimming frog inhale the anger powder. Otherwise the fast-swimming frog would be forced to attack, and Butterfree could easily put the fast-swimming frog into a sleeping state. Yobo. After receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions, the fast-swimming frog quickly formed a transparent barrier in front of it. A large amount of powder floated in front of the fast-swimming frog, but was isolated by a barrier. There was not a single crack on the barrier, so no matter how much powder there was, it would not have any effect. Chapter 381, The Powerful Bat Butterfly. All the floating powder was absorbed and dissolved by the barrier, and the barrier disappeared after the powder was dissolved. Frog, use Raindrop. After defending the barrier, Zhang Cheng immediately ordered Frog to use Raindrop. Now Frog has just used the defense, and has no other defensive skills to deal with Butterfree's hypnotic powder. The only way now is to open the rainy weather before Butterfree activates the hypnotic powder. In rainy weather, Frog's leisurely swimming characteristics will be triggered, and the movement will be greatly improved, and Butterfree's hypnotic powder will be difficult to hit. Yobo. Frog rubbed his hands, and a strong water element energy burst out of his body. This energy gathered and turned into dark clouds rising into the sky. Butterfree, use hypnotic powder. Yian naturally ordered Butterfree to use hypnotic powder at the first time. Now the two elves are racing against time. After receiving Yian's order, Butterfree flapped its wings and used the grass attribute energy to create a large amount of hypnotic powder. After the powder was formed, it flew quickly in the direction of Frog. The dark clouds condensed by the frog rose into the sky, and soon a large number of raindrops fell, and rainy weather formed. After the frog was soaked by the rain, the leisurely swimming characteristic was triggered, and the speed doubled directly. But at the same time when the frog triggered the characteristic, a large amount of hypnotic powder had already attacked, and the frog could not dodge it even if it was faster at this time. The hypnotic powder fell on the body of the frog, and soon the frog felt weak all over, closed its eyes and fell into a sleep state. Frog, use butterfly dance continuously. After successfully putting the frog into hypnotic state, Yian commanded Butterfly to use the butterfly dance skill that can improve special attack, special defense and speed at the same time. Butterfly quickly flew into the air, condensing insect energy while dancing a beautiful dance. After the beautiful dance ended, the condensed insect energy turned into a strange light that covered Butterfly's whole body. Under the influence of this light, Butterfly's special attack, special defense and speed were all improved. Following Yian's instructions, Butterfree continued to perform the second butterfly dance. After the speed was increased, Butterfree's butterfly dance danced even faster. Finally, when Frog woke up, Butterfree had completed 3 butterfly dances, and its special attack, special defense, and speed were greatly improved. Now Butterfree's speed is no less than Frog in rainy weather. This is difficult. I didn't expect this guy's Butterfree to become so difficult. Zhang Cheng looked at Butterfree, which had already performed 3 layers of butterfly dance, and had a headache. Butterfree, use air slash. Seeing Frog wake up, Yian stopped Butterfree from using butterfly dance and launched a flying skill that restrained Frog to attack. Butterfree condensed a strong flying energy in a very short time, and this energy turned into an air blade in the air and slashed at Frog on the ground. Frog, use your power to defend. This air slash from Butterfree has the special attack of 3 layers of butterfly dance and the power of the main system. It also has a restraining effect on Frog, which has the fighting attribute. Zhang Cheng didn't dare to let Frog take it head on. Not to mention that Frog was in a half state now. Even if it was hit with full health, it might lose its combat ability directly. Yobo. Frog also felt how terrifying the power of Butterfree's air slash was. Before Zhang Cheng's order was issued, Frog instinctively began to condense a barrier. Under Frog's control, the rich energy formed a transparent barrier in front of it. After the barrier was formed, the air blade also attacked quickly, and the sharp air blade kept cutting the barrier in front of it. Frog continued to exert force to stabilize the barrier, but it was still unable to resist the attack of the air blade. Finally, after consuming most of its power, the air blade finally broke the barrier. After breaking the barrier, The air blade ruthlessly slashed on Frog's body. Frog was hit by the remaining air slash, and its entire body flew backwards and fell heavily on the ground, with its health rapidly reduced to only 1/6 of the last. It seems that I can only use that move. Facing the current situation, Zhang Cheng thought of the only way to turn defeat into victory. Frog, use reckless attack. The only way to kill the high attack, high defense, and high-speed Butterfree in the state of residual health is to use reckless attack. The reckless attack skill can force the opponent's health to be the same as its own, directly ignoring the opponent's double defense. Yobo, a terrifying power emerged from Frog's body. After receiving the instructions from the trainer, he exerted force with his legs and launched the reckless attack skill to hit Butterfree. I knew you would use this move. Yiyan saw Frog's reckless attack and commanded in a cold voice, Butterfree, use the fastest speed to hold. In the previous battles with Zhang Cheng, Yiyan had suffered several losses from reckless attacks, so when fighting with Frog, Yiyan always paid attention to Frog's status. When the health of Froglet dropped to a dangerous level, Yiyan was very alert and ready to defend against Froglet's reckless attack. Butterfree was very fast now. After receiving Yiyan's order, it created a solid barrier in front of it in a very short time. After the barrier was formed, it blocked the attacking Froglet. Froglet's reckless skill could indeed cause a lot of damage after hitting the elf. But there were not many ways to deal with the barrier in front of him, and at most this reckless skill was ineffective. Butterfree, use the insect bite. After resolving Froglet's desperate attack, the distance between the two elves was very close, and Yiyan directly asked Butterfree to use the high-powered insect bite skill. The insect bite skill requires close attack, and now the distance between the two elves is very close, which saves Butterfree a lot of time. Butterfree attached the rich insect energy to its teeth, and then bit Froglet fiercely. The low-health frog couldn't resist Butterfree's attack at all. After being hit by the insect bite skill, its health was emptied and it fell on the battlefield. Well done, come back, Frog. Zhang Cheng took out the Pokeball and took back the Pokemon that had lost its combat ability. Now both sides have lost two Pokemons. Yiyan's evolution crystal has been used, and Butterfree now has a very high attribute. The two sides can be said to be in a balanced situation. If you want to know who will win or lose, you have to watch the next battle. Chapter 382, Dragon King vs. Butterfree. Dragon King, it's you. Facing Zhang Cheng's Butterfree, Yiyan chose to send out the third elf, the Dragon King. Zhang Cheng chose to send out the Dragon King for two reasons. The first reason was that the Dragon King had the smoke of clearance, which could clear the attributes amplified by Butterfree. The second reason was that the fast swim frog had activated the rainy weather in the previous battle, and the Dragon King's characteristic was also to swim freely, which was just right to give full play to its own advantages. Butterfree, use the insect song. Seeing Zhang Cheng send out a new elf to fight, Yiyan launched an offensive without saying a word. The flying skills and insect skills that Butterfree was good at had the same effect on the Dragon King, so Yiyan chose to use the insect song, which was a little higher in damage than the air slash, to attack. After Butterfree received Yiyan's order, it quickly flapped its wings and made a harsh insect sound from its mouth. Dragon King, use the smoke of clearance. With the blessing of the rainy weather, the speed of the Dragon King was much faster than that of the Butterfree, accelerated by the three-level butterfly dance. Zhang Cheng was waiting for Butterfree to launch an attack when he ordered the Thorn Dragon King to quickly launch the smoke of clearance. Haha. As long as the hypnotic powder can successfully hypnotize the Thorn Dragon, Yiyan can let Butterfree use the amplification attribute of Butterfly Dance again to quickly defeat the Thorn Dragon. Butterfree uses grass energy to transform into hypnotic powder, and then flaps its wings to spread the powder. However, after losing the speed attribute of Butterfly Dance, Butterfree's speed of releasing skills slowed down a lot, and the Thorn Dragon had enough time to react. Hern Dragon, use guard. Zhang Cheng naturally couldn't give Yiyan this opportunity. Seeing the hypnotic powder floating, he immediately asked the Thorn Dragon to use guard. Haha. A large amount of water attribute energy gathered and was sucked into the body of the Thorn Dragon King, then turned into a high-pressure water column and sprayed out. The thick water column carried a strong water elemental force and quickly attacked Butterfree in the air. Butterfree, use the insect song again. Yiyan thought that he could not resist this attack by defending the skill, so he might as well fight hard. Butterfree still had some advantages in terms of health. The insect energy burst out of Butterfree's mouth, and a series of piercing insect sounds came out. Water cannon and insect sound are not the same type of skills. There is no collision between the two, and they hit each other's elves. A large amount of water element energy hit Butterfree's body. Butterfree was severely injured after this attack, and its health value quickly dropped to only 2/5. The Thorn Dragon King's water cannon is powerful in itself, not to mention the rainy weather and the mysterious water drops. The power has reached a terrifying level. Not long after Butterfree was hit, the piercing insect sound also entered the Thorn Dragon King's ears. Affected by the sound wave, the Thorn Dragon King was also hurt to some extent, and his health value was reduced from 1/4. After the insect chirping of Butterfree lost its attribute amplification, its attack power was indeed greatly reduced. Before, it could directly knock down half of the Thorn Dragon King's health value, but now it can only knock down 1/4. After this collision between the two sides, the rainy weather also dissipated, and the weather returned to normal. Butterfree used the hypnotic powder quickly. Seeing the rainy weather disappear, Yeetion's eyes lit up, and he quickly commanded Butterfree to use the hypnotic powder to try to reverse the situation. Butterfree had a lot of experience in fighting. When he received Yeetion's order, he had already spread the hypnotic powder that had been condensed in advance. "Let me crack your hypnotic powder." Zhang Cheng looked at the scattered powder and calmly commanded, "Thorn Dragon King, use surfing to wash down these hypnotic powders." Zhang Cheng used the mechanism of the surfing skill to cover the front with rich waves to resolve the opponent's offensive. Haha. Butterfield, hold on. Facing the flying dragon wave, Yeetion had no choice but to let Butterfield passively defend, and wait until it resisted this attack before looking for an opportunity to counterattack. Butterfield was severely injured at this time, and the speed of gathering strength was much slower. After receiving Yeetion's order, it was already trying its best to gather energy to try to create a barrier. But unfortunately, it was still a step too slow. When the barrier was about to take shape, the dragon wave had already hit Butterfield directly in the abdomen. Being attacked by a powerful dragon skill head-on, Butterfield naturally had no possibility of resisting successfully. After being hit by the dragon wave, Butterfield's health value quickly decreased until it was finally emptied. Chapter 383, The Jaw Dragon. You've done a good job. Come back, Butterfree. Yeetion took back Butterfree, who had lost his ability to fight, and his expression became more and more solemn. After a brief decision, Yeetion took out a Pokeball and a red light shot towards the battlefield. A tall Tyrannosaurus Rex appeared in the battlefield, looking very oppressive. Tyrannosaurus, it's you. The fourth Pokemon sent by Yeetion was a Tyrannosaurus with the dual attributes of Rock and Dragon. Where did Yeetion get so many Dragon-type Pokemon? Zhang Cheng was a little confused when he saw the Dragon-type Pokemon sent by Yeetion. This was the first time Zhang Cheng had encountered a Pokemon like Tyrannosaurus, so he needed to use the detection system to understand the opponent's situation before the battle. Zhang Cheng skillfully turned on the detection system and focused his sight on the body of the strange jaw dragon. Soon, the detailed data of this strange jaw dragon appeared in his mind. Name, Strange Jaw Dragon, Level 69, Gender, Male. Qualification, Attributes, Rock, Dragon carrying props, Dragon's Tooth, Heart and Sharp Teeth. The power of dragon-related skills used by the elves with this prop will become stronger. Basic skills, Impact, Shake Tail, Roar, Trample, Endurance, Invisible Rock, Bite, Act Coquettishly, Primal Power, Dragon Tail, Bite, Dragon Claw, Brain, Earthquake, Horn Drill, Rock Slide, Double-Edged Headbutt, Ultimate Impact. Learning skills, Sandstorm, Hold, Tile Splitting, Rock Blockade, Swallow Return, Rock Grinding, Sharp Stone Attack. Inherited skills, Poisonous Fang, Lightning Fang, Frozen Fang, Flame Fang. Characteristics, Strong Jaw. The elves with this characteristic have a strong jaw, so the power of biting moves will be increased. Note, Jaw, Tyrant Pokemon, the evolution of Baby Tyrannosaurus, is the king of the ancient world with its big jaws that can tear even thick steel plates like paper. What is noteworthy about Yeetion's jaw is its characteristics. The strong jaws, especially when combined with the inherited biting skills, will have unexpected effects. Jaw, use the Dragon Claw. Jaw is a Pokemon with high physical attack and high physical defense. Facing the Thorn Dragon King, Yeetion chose to let Jaw use the Dragon-type physical attack skill with a restraining effect. After receiving Yeetion's order, Jaw roared to the sky and gathered powerful Dragon-type power on its claws. Under the cover of rich Dragon attribute energy, The Dragon Claw skill formed. Jaw raised its Dragon Claw and grabbed the Thorn Dragon King fiercely. Spirit Dragon King used Dragon Wave. Like the Thorn Dragon King, the Jaw Dragon was afraid of dragon skills, and Zhang Cheng knew that the Jaw Dragon King's special defense was low, so he did not let the Thorn Dragon King use physical attack skills such as Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail, but chose to let it use the special attack skill Dragon Wave to attack. The Thorn Dragon King was a Pokemon with very balanced dual attacks, and both physical attack skills and special attack skills had high damage. Haha. The Thorn Dragon King had just launched an attack and had no time to dodge. The sharp Dragon Claws slashed past, and the Thorn Dragon King's remaining blood was directly emptied. Well done, come back, Thorn Dragon King. Zhang Cheng took back the Thorn Dragon King who had lost his ability to fight. Zhang Cheng was very satisfied with the Thorn Dragon King's performance in this battle. Not only did he defeat Yuan's tricky Butterfree, but he also injured the Dragon Jaw. Swampert, prepare for battle. Zhang Cheng's fourth Pokemon choice was the ground and water dual attribute Swampert. Dragon Jaw was more afraid of ground-type skills, and at the same time, the grass-type skills that Swampert was afraid of could not be mastered by the Dragon Jaw. This is why Zhang Cheng chose to let the Swampert fight. While controlling the opponent could not do anything to him. Dragon Jaw used the Dragon Tail. Yuan took the initiative and commanded the Dragon Jaw to use the Dragon-type skills he was good at to attack. With the increase of the item Dragon Fang, the damage of this Dragon Tail was very high. After receiving the order, the Jaw Dragon twisted its body and whipped its tail towards Swampert. The dragon's tail had already condensed powerful dragon energy, which looked very powerful. Looking at the attacking Jaw Dragon, Zhang Cheng had no fear at all, and calmly asked Swampert to defend. Swampert, white area defense, Gana. Swampert slapped the ground with its limbs, using the hard rock energy to create a barrier to resist the attack of Jaw Dragon. A dark yellow barrier was formed, blocking the attack of Jaw Dragon, and the dragon's tail hit the solid barrier hard. Although the rock barrier was shaking violently under the whipping of the dragon's tail, there was no sign of breaking. In the end, the energy on the dragon's tail was exhausted, but it still failed to break through this thick barrier. Swampert used mud bombs. Naturally, there is no way to win by simply defending. Zhang Cheng commanded Swampert to take the initiative and use ground skills to restrain Jaw Dragon. Mud Bomb is a special attack skill, and it is much more effective against the Jaw Dragon than the physical attack type ground skills. The physical defense of the Jaw Dragon is twice that of the special defense. If you want to attack the Jaw Dragon, it is a better choice to choose a special attack skill. Gana Swampert had learned the Mud Bomb very early, and he was very good at using the skill. Soon, a large amount of ground energy rushed towards the Swampert, and the Swampert opened his arms to convert the energy into a ball of mud. The mud contains a lot of ground energy. The Swampert mixed the mud together to form a mud bomb and smashed it towards the Jaw Dragon. Jaw Dragon used the Dragon Claw to crush these muds. Yuan looked at the flying mud bombs, and he planned to use the sharp Dragon Claws to smash them. The best defense is attack. After receiving Yuan's instructions, the Jaw Dragon quickly gathered energy on the Dragon Claws, and then grabbed the incoming mud bombs, trying to smash them with one blow. The power of the Dragon Claws was strong, and it was indeed enough to smash the mud bombs, but the reason why mud bombs are called bombs is that they can explode. The Dragon Claws and the mud bombs came into contact, and in an instant, the mud bombs were split in two. Boom! An explosion sounded, and the mud bomb that was cut in half exploded directly, and a large amount of ground energy spread out and hit the body of the Jaw Dragon. The Jaw Dragon was affected by these ground energies, and its health was knocked down by a quarter. After being attacked by the Thorn Dragon King and the giant Swampert, the Jaw Dragon's health was only the last quarter. Chapter 384, Another Battle with the Three Evil Dragons. After being injured by the mud bomb, the Jaw Dragon was extremely angry, raised its claws and rushed towards Swampert like crazy. Swampert could not avoid it, and was scratched by the sharp claws with 2 deep claw marks. Its health value dropped rapidly and it was seriously injured. Swampert used mud shooting to hit the Jaw Dragon back. Seeing that the Jaw Dragon still wanted to continue using the claws to attack Swampert, Zhang Cheng quickly issued a new attack order. Gana. Swampert opened its mouth to accumulate power and spit out a large number of mud balls. These mud balls had the ground power to restrain the Jaw Dragon. A large number of mud balls were shot out, and the Jaw Dragon used its sharp claws to disperse some of them, but the number of mud balls was too large, and some of them still hit the body of the Jaw Dragon. After being hit by these mud balls, the powerful impact made the Jaw Dragon retreat again and again, and soon it pulled away from the Swampert, and the claws could no longer attack the Swampert. Swampert used the strongest attack of the water cannon. After repelling the Jaw Dragon, Zhang Cheng asked Swampert to use the most powerful water skill, the water cannon. After using the water cannon, the elves will have a strong side effect, and they will be stiff and unable to move. However, with the state chosen by the Jaw Dragon, it is impossible to resist such a powerful special attack skill, so the side effect does not have much impact, which is why Zhang Cheng dared to let the Swampert directly launch the water cannon. Gana Swampert opened its mouth and continuously absorbed the water element energy around it, and then compressed the absorbed energy together to form a dense and powerful water cannon. A water cannon shell only the size of a fist was formed. The seemingly small water cannon contained terrible power and was shot at the Jaw Dragon under the control of the Swampert. Jaw Dragon, use Rock Slide attack. Yixian knew that the Jaw Dragon could no longer withstand this attack, so he directly chose to exchange states and used the Rock Slide skill to directly attack Swampert and knock out more of Swampert's health. Following the trainer's instructions, the Jaw Dragon used rock energy to create a large number of energy stones on Swampert's head. After the energy stones were formed, the Jaw Dragon removed the power of control, and these rocks fell naturally under the influence of gravity and hit Swampert's head. At this time, Swampert had already fired the water cannon and fell into a state of stiffness. He could only let the stones fall wildly, hitting Swampert dizzy. While the attack of the rock collapse skill was in progress, the other half of the water cannon fired by Swampert also hit the body of the Jaw Dragon. The Jaw Dragon, which had weak special defense, was hit by the water element power after the cannon, and the remaining quarter of its health was emptied, and it fell to the ground and lost its combat ability. Because Swampert was hit by the rock collapse skill without any defense, its health was also hit down, and its current state was not very good. Come back, Jaw Dragon, Yixian's calm voice came out, and a red light came to take back the Jaw Dragon that had lost its combat ability. Feeling Yixian's calm voice, Zhang Cheng felt something was wrong, but he couldn't tell the specific reason. Three-headed dragon, it's your turn. After taking back the Jaw Dragon, Yixian immediately threw out the next Pokeball, and a three-headed, six-winged dragon appeared in the air of the battlefield. Release the three-headed dragon in advance? It seems that you are going to go all out. Luluan, who is watching the battle outside the field, looked at the three-headed dragon and felt that Yixian's situation was not ideal. Is it finally here? Zhang Cheng looked at the three-headed dragon that appeared in front of him, and quickly turned on the detection system. A large amount of data appeared in Zhang Cheng's mind. Name, three-headed dragon, level 69, gender, male qualification, A+ attributes, dragon, evil items carried, black glasses, a pair of strange-looking glasses. The power of evil attribute skills used by the Pokémon will be enhanced when they are carried. Basic skills, impact, dragon's fury, gathering energy, bite, headbutt, dragon's breath, crushing, roaring, slamming, dragon wave, self-motivation, mountation top, dragon god dive, ghost face, loud voice, reverse scale, triple attack learning skills, flying, jet of flame, 100,000 volts, hold, surfing, destructive ray, big word explosion, feather roost, cannon beam cannon, dragon tail inherited skills, double-edged headbutt, evil wave, fright, ear-piercing sound, flame fang characteristics, floating. Polygons with this characteristic will float from the ground and will not be attacked by ground attribute skills. Notes, 3. Headed dragon is a ferocious Pokémon in the evolved form of the two-headed dragon. Once it finds a living thing, it will pounce on it and eat it all up with its three heads. It is a terrifying Pokémon. After seeing the current situation of Yixian's three-headed dragon, Zhang Cheng was under great pressure. The three-headed dragon is a Pokémon with good dual attacks and can master skills of various attributes. It can fight any type of Pokémon. If Zhang Cheng didn't have Diance's help, he wouldn't dare to say that he could defeat the three-headed dragon. Yixian is also very smart. Knowing that Zhang Cheng's Diance is immune to dragon skills, he cultivated the three-headed dragon in the direction of evil attributes and gave it black glasses that increased the power of evil attribute skills. Swampert, use surf. Facing the three-headed dragon with floating characteristics, Swampert's ground skills cannot be used, and it can only use water skills to attack. Gana Swampert uses the active water element power around it to create a large number of waves and rush towards the three-headed dragon. Three-headed dragon, use the evil wave. Yeon commanded the three-headed dragon to use the evil wave, a powerful evil skill, to confront the sweeping waves head-on. After the three-headed dragon received the instruction, three powerful evil energy was released at the same time, forming a powerful evil wave. Looking at the evil waves emitted by the three heads of the three-headed dragon at the same time, Zhang Cheng secretly said that it was not good. This was the most powerful evil wave he had ever seen. A large amount of evil energy turned into ripples and flew out, colliding with the incoming waves. After the waves came into contact with these evil energies, they quickly dissipated and were no match for this force at all. After the evil wave shattered the waves, it continued to launch an offensive and attacked the giant Swampert on the ground. This evil wave flew at an extremely fast speed. The giant Swampert had tried to dodge in advance, but still failed. In the end, the giant Swampert was hit by a large number of ripples, and the only remaining part of its health was directly emptied. Seeing the three-headed dragon take down the giant Swampert with one move, Zhang Cheng's face was a bit ugly. After the growth of the three-headed dragon during this period, its strength has greatly improved. It is a very difficult guy to deal with. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 385, Pocus's Defeat. You did a great job, come back, Swampert. Zhang Cheng took out the Pokeball and took back the Swampert that had lost its ability to fight. Facing Yutian's powerful three-headed dragon, Zhang Cheng felt a lot of pressure, but as long as Diancie was still there, he had enough confidence. Pocus, get ready for battle. The fifth Pocus sent by Zhang Cheng was a flying and fairy-type Pocus. Pocus has fairy attributes, and the restraining effect on the three-headed dragon is very obvious. It is perfect to use it to deal with the three-headed dragon. As for Diancie, Zhang Cheng planned to keep it for the last as the finale. Diancie is Zhang Cheng's last trump card. Three-headed dragon, use 100,000 volts. Yutian already had experience in dealing with fairy-type Pokémon when he sent the three-headed dragon to fight. He specially taught the three-headed dragon a lot of other attribute skills in order to effectively restrain the opponent's Pokémon. Although the three-headed dragon is not an electric-type Pokémon, the 100,000 volts it used does not have the power of its own type. However, the special attack of the three-headed dragon is very high, and the 100,000 volts also have a restraining effect on the flying-type Tajikus, so the damage it can cause must be not low. After receiving the instructions from the trainer, the three-headed dragon flapped its 6 wings to absorb the power of the electric attribute and converted it into high-voltage current. A large amount of current gathered together, making a constant sizzling sound. When the power of the current reached its strongest, the three-headed dragon suddenly released all the current. Tajikus used the power of the moon. Facing the attack of the three-headed dragon, Zhang Cheng was not at all weak, and directly commanded Tajikus to use fairy-type skills to fight back. Fairy-type skills have a 4-fold restraining effect on the three-headed dragon, so Zhang Cheng naturally would not choose to defend. Chekia Tajikus merged the fairy-type energy in his body into a pink light ball, and a large amount of energy burst out in this light ball. The power of the moon appeared from the light ball and attacked the three-headed dragon under the traction of Tajikus. The attacks of the two elves staggered with each other in a tacit understanding, hitting each other's body. After being attacked by the power of the moon, the three-headed dragon was hit hard and fell to the ground, and its health was reduced by half. Pocus's condition was better. Although he was hit by this 100,000 volts that was not his own type, his health was also lost a lot, but his injuries were much lighter than those of the three-headed dragon. Three-headed dragon, use the double-edged head hammer. Yutian saw that the 100,000 volts could not compete with Pocus, so he gritted his teeth and asked the three-headed dragon to use the rock-type skills that also restrained flying-type elves. And the double-edged head hammer used by the three-headed dragon is the most powerful skill of the rock-type, and it will also suffer great damage after using it. But Yutian didn't have a good choice now. The 100,000 volts skill couldn't compete with Pocus, so he could only use the double-edged head hammer to make a desperate move. The three-headed dragon roared, quickly absorbing the rock-type energy in the battlefield and using it for himself. A large amount of rock-type energy gathered on the top of the three-headed dragon's head. These energies formed two sharp blades, attached to the head of the three-headed dragon. After the double blades were formed, the three-headed dragon flapped its wings, launched a double-bladed head hammer skill at a very fast speed, and attacked Pokus fiercely. Pokus, use Magic Flash. Zhang Cheng looked at the attacking three-headed dragon, intending to defeat the three-headed dragon with the fairy energy emitted by the Magic Flash, so that it could not get close. After Pokus received Zhang Cheng's instructions, he skillfully used the fairy energy to form a dazzling light, which quickly stabbed the three-headed dragon after it was formed. The three-headed dragon was frantically vibrating its wings at this time, using the double-bladed head hammer to attack Pokus. But when it was about to approach Pokus, a dazzling light shone in, which was the fairy energy that the three-headed dragon feared the most. Under the illumination of these lights, a large number of cracks appeared on the skin of the three-headed dragon, and roars continued to come out of its mouth. Three-headed dragon, hold on. Seeing that the three-headed dragon was in trouble, Yiyan quickly encouraged it and gave it spiritual support. Hearing the recognition and encouragement from his trainer, the three-headed dragon stimulated its potential, used all its strength to resist a large amount of fairy light, and came to Tajukus. After approaching Tajukus, the three-headed dragon directly launched a double-edged head hammer, and the head carried a strong rock energy and hit Tajukus's body hard. Tajukus's defense was not strong to begin with. He had just suffered a lot of health points from the attack of 100,000 volts. Now he was hit by the more powerful attack of the three-headed dragon than before, and he couldn't resist it at all. Tajukus's health points soon bottomed out, and he fell from the air and lost his ability to fight. You have done well, come back, Tajukus. Zhang Cheng quickly took back Tajukus, who fell from the air to the ground. After launching the double-edged head hammer, the three-headed dragon also suffered a lot of counter-injury. Now its condition is very bad. Tajukus's goal has been achieved, and it will be handed over to Diancie next. Your three-headed dragon is really strong. I didn't expect it to be able to defeat the fairy-type Pokémon with 4 times restrained. Zhang Cheng looked at Yiyan and said with some admiration. It's just that you accidentally mastered the skill of restraining the flying type. Otherwise, I would have no chance to defeat Tajukus. Okay, send Diancie. Now it's time to decide the outcome. There was no panic in Yiyan's tone. The current situation was very bad for Yiyan. Looking at Yiyan's calm appearance, Zhang Cheng felt a bad premonition in his heart. With the current state of Yiyan's three-headed dragon, it is impossible to defeat the mega-evolved Super Diancie. Yiyan is so calm, which means that the last Pokémon must be restrained by Diancie. But Zhang Cheng had no other choice. Now he only had one Pokémon left to fight. If he didn't choose Diancie, it might be difficult to even deal with the three-headed dragon, not to mention the other Pokémon. No matter what happened today, Zhang Cheng's final choice would be Diancie. Diancie, it's you. Yiyan took out the last Pokéball and threw it to the battlefield. A petite and cute Pokémon floated in the air. Is it finally here? I can't wait, Yiyan murmured as he looked at Diancie, who appeared. Diancie, Mega Evolution. Facing this final championship duel, Zhang Cheng didn't dare to be careless at all. He took out the evolution crystal directly and let Diancie go in and maximize the combat power. As Zhang Cheng's voice fell, a mixture of rock and fairy energy was injected into Diancie's body. After Diancie was affected by this power, her whole body changed, from the original cute style to the domineering style, which looked very deterrent. Chapter 386, Shield Sword Monster. Diancie completed the Mega Evolution, and the overall strength was greatly increased. The double defense was slightly reduced, but the attack power and speed were greatly improved, and it switched from the defensive form to the offensive form. Three-headed dragon, use Iron Tail. Yiyan had learned about the situation of Super Diancie in advance, and knew that Super Diancie was very afraid of steel skills. He directly commanded the three-headed dragon with low health to use the only steel skill he mastered to attack. The three-headed dragon swung its dragon tail and injected steel energy into it. The whole tail quickly became as hard as steel. When the hardness of the tail reached the extreme, the three-headed dragon twisted its body, swung out the iron tail, and slammed it hard at the Super Diancie in midair. Super Diancie, use guard. Facing the steel skills of the three-headed dragon, Zhang Cheng still chose a conservative way of playing, trying to keep the state of Super Diancie as much as possible. Because the situation of Yeon's last Pokemon is still unknown, and the unknown things are often the most frightening. After receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions, Super Diancie quickly absorbed the general energy around her body and skillfully turned the energy into a transparent barrier. After the barrier appeared, it blocked the iron tail of the three-headed dragon. The iron tail skill was very effective for Super Diancie, but it had no restraining effect on the barrier constructed with general energy. In addition, the iron tail of the three-headed dragon did not have the power of the original system and the additional blessing of props, so it was not realistic to break the barrier. In the end, all the steel energy was exhausted, and the barrier still stood intact in front of him. Super Diancie used the power of the moon. After resolving the opponent's offensive, Zhang Cheng let Super Diancie take the initiative to attack. Super Diancie created a large amount of fairy energy at a very fast speed, which turned into the power of the moon and hit the three-headed dragon not far away. The three-headed dragon, which was already seriously injured, was hit by this fatal attack, and its health was quickly emptied. It fell to the ground and lost its ability to fight. At this point, Yeon only had the last Pokemon left to fight, and the two sides could be said to be back to the same starting line. Come back, three-headed dragon. Yeon took back the three-headed dragon, then looked up at Zhang Cheng. Next is the final 1v1 duel. Who do you think will win between the two of us? Yeon looked at Zhang Cheng and said with fiery eyes. No one knows who will win until the end. Zhang Cheng looked at Yeon and said with a smile, the only thing I know is that your last Pokemon must be targeting Mega Diancie. You are absolutely right about this. Yeon nodded and threw out his last Pokeball. Aegis, it's up to you. Yeon's last Pokemon, Aegis, has a dual attribute combination of Steel and Ghost. It has a resistance effect against the rock skills and fairy skills that Mega Diancie is good at. At the same time, the steel skills it is good at have a fourfold restraint effect on Mega Diancie. You really took great pains to deal with me. You actually got such a Pokemon? Although Zhang Cheng guessed that it was a steel-type Pokemon, he didn't expect it to be a Shield Blade. The trainers outside the field were also a little surprised to see the Shield Blade released by Yeon. They had basically never seen this Pokemon before, but they had a simple understanding of it in books. How could he have such a Pokemon? Bai Yuling in the preparation area was shocked when she saw the Shield Blade sent by Yeon, because this kind of Pokemon currently only exists in one place, and that place is not under the jurisdiction of the Alliance. This guy hid so deep. I haven't seen him use this Pokemon before. By the way, it seems that this Pokemon has never been seen before. Luluin in the preparation area of Kyoto University was also a little puzzled. Although he was surprised, the battle still had to continue. Zhang Cheng quickly entered the combat state and quickly opened the detection system to check the specific data of the Shield Blade. He didn't know much about this Pokemon. Name, Aegislash, level 69, gender, male qualification, 8 attributes, steel, ghost carried items, metal film, a special metal product. The power of steel-related skills will be enhanced when the Pokemon carries it. Basic skills, sword dance, impact, slash, metal sound, chase, lightweight body, shadow sneak attack, swallow return, revenge, cleave, iron wall, sneak attack, power trick, iron head, holy sword, double-edged head hammer, king's shield learning skills, destructive ray, shadow clone, sleep, rock slide, hold, shadow ball, shadow claw, cannon beam cannon, inherited skills, metal sound, shadow sneak attack, wide area defense characteristics, combat switch. A Pokemon with this characteristic will change into sword form when using an attacking skill, and into shield form when using the move King's Shield. Notes, Aegislash, the royal power Pokemon. The evolved form of the Devil Scabbard seems to be able to see through people with the qualities of a king. It is said that those recognized by him will become kings soon. After reading the data of the Shield Blade, Zhang Cheng had a general understanding of it. The Shield Blade is usually in attack form, with high attack power but low defense power. After using the skill King's Shield, it will resist the next attack and then switch to defense form. In defense form, the attack power will become very weak, and the defense power will become very strong. Using attack skills in defense form will turn it into attack form again. It is indeed very suitable to use such a steel-type elf to deal with Super Diancie. The extremely high double attack in attack form, combined with steel skills, can cause extremely high damage to Super Diancie. Shield Blade, use Iron Head, Zhang Cheng took the lead in the offensive and commanded the Shield Blade to use steel skills to attack Super Diancie. The Shield Blade swung its two swords and quickly rushed towards Super Diancie, according to Yuan's instructions, to absorb steel energy. Super Diancie, use Light of Destruction. Facing the opponent's powerful offensive, Zhang Cheng chose to take the initiative to attack. The Shield Blade's defense was very weak in attack form, and Zhang Cheng had to seize this opportunity to fight head-on. If you choose to passively defend because you are afraid of steel skills, then you will be dead. When the Shield Blade monster is prepared, use the defensive form to resist, and Super Diancie's attack will have no effect. Super Diancie has been with Zhang Cheng for such a long time, and they have already had a tacit understanding. Before Zhang Cheng gave the order, a large amount of fairy energy had already gathered around her. Super Diancie merged the energy that exploded in her body with the energy absorbed from the outside world, forming an eternal flower full of the breath of death. Chapter 387, The Shield Sword Monster's Trump Card. The flower of eternity bloomed in front of Super Diancie, emitting a light of destruction that could destroy everything. The light of destruction emitted a rich purple light, covering the charging shield blade. The light of destruction emitted by Super Diancie was extremely powerful, and was the most powerful ultimate move in the fairy system. With the power of this system, it would have a good effect even if it hit a shield blade with resistance. The shield blade was now in attack mode, and its defense was very weak. After being hit by the light of destruction emitted by the flower of eternity, its health dropped by 3/5. However, the shield blade seemed to have no sense of pain. While being severely injured by the light of destruction, it still came to Super Diancie, and released its accumulated steel power, and the hard sword chopped Super Diancie's body. Super Diancie was attacked by this powerful steel energy and was knocked back more than 10 meters before stopping, with 2/5 of its health being knocked down. Mega Diancie's body is made of the hardest diamond. The attack of Shield Blade is very powerful, but Mega Diancie's defense is not weak. Shield Blade's sword did not leave a wound on Mega Diancie. How do you know the characteristics of Shield Blade? Yuan looked at Zhang Cheng in shock. He didn't expect that the opponent would take the initiative to attack when facing steel skills and fight against Shield Blade. According to the normal battle thinking, when encountering a skill attack with 4 times restrained, the trainer will basically choose to defend first and avoid its edge. And this is also the best countermeasure, but Zhang Cheng just did the opposite and directly chose to use his own skills that are not very effective to counterattack. This is not an operation that a top trainer would perform. If there is, there must be a reason. Just like the current situation, after Zhang Cheng chose to take the initiative to attack and achieved results, Yuan immediately found something wrong. Zhang Cheng obviously understood the characteristics of Shield Blade, so he took advantage of the weak defense of Shield Blade when attacking to attack. Is it strange? It is common sense for a trainer to be familiar with the situation of each Pokémon, Zhang Cheng said with a smile. Impossible, this Pokémon is not recorded in detail in the league's data at present, and you can't know the characteristics and specific situation of Aegis Blade, Yuan said with certainty. I think we should focus on the battle first. This is the decisive moment of the national competition finals, and thousands of trainers are watching. Zhang Cheng didn't want to talk too much about this topic. Even if you know the characteristics of Aegis Blade, it's not that easy to beat me. The steel skills that Aegis Blade is good at have 4 times restraint. Yuan knew very well how desperate the 4 times restraint was. In the previous battles, his 3-headed dragon had no power to fight back against a 4-fold restraint fairy Diancie. Since then, in Yuan's cognition, 4 times restraint is basically an unsolvable existence. In order to defeat Zhang Cheng in this national competition, Yuan spent a lot of money to get a top-level Aegis Blade, just to return the previous failure. Yuan wants to use quadruple restraint to defeat Mega Diancie. He is the strongest trainer. Steel type does quadruple restraint Mega Diancie. But you overlooked an important point, that is the racial value, Zhang Cheng said calmly. Super Diancie has a racial value of up to 700, which is nearly 200 higher than that of Aegis. The power of the Phantom Beast cannot be defeated by attribute restrained. Super Diancie, use Healing Wave. Zhang Cheng commanded Super Diancie to use healing skills to recover from the injuries just received. Super Diancie quickly used the psychic energy to transform into ripples with healing ability, which were absorbed by Super Diancie, and all the injuries previously received were healed. Super Diancie's speed is much faster than that of Aegis. After using the healing wave, Aegis's attack has just started. Aegis, use the water cannon. When Super Diancie began to use the healing wave, Yian had already commanded Aegis to use steel-type skills to attack. The Shield Blade monster was not as fast as Super Diancie. After receiving the order, it immediately compressed the steel energy into a light cannon and fired at Super Diancie. However, it was still a step too late. Super Diancie's healing wave had been used up and her health value had returned to its peak state. The water cannon attacked and bombarded Super Diancie's body. Under this skill attack with 4 times restrained, Super Diancie's health value was reduced to only half. Super Diancie used Diamond Storm. Zhang Cheng was waiting for such an opportunity. He took advantage of Super Diancie's speed and took the lead in using healing waves to lure the Shield Blade monster to attack. After the Shield Blade monster attacked, Zhang Cheng once again took advantage of Super Diancie's speed and launched a powerful skill to attack the Shield Blade monster. At this time, the Shield Blade monster had no time to enter a defensive posture. After receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions, Super Diancie turned the rock energy that had been accumulated long ago into a large amount of diamonds, and large pieces of diamonds mixed together to form a Diamond Storm. The Diamond Storm brought a powerful force to attack the Shield Blade monster. Shield Blade, use King's Shield. Yian noticed something was wrong and quickly let Shield Blade use King's Shield to enter a defensive posture. Shield Blade quickly switched weapons, but the Diamond Storm had already swept in, and a large amount of rock energy attacked the belly of Shield Blade. At this time, Shield Blade was still in an attacking state, with a frighteningly low defense. It was hit by this rock skill with a resistance effect, and it also lost a quarter of its health. After being attacked, Shield Blade's defensive posture was released, but the damage of Diamond Storm had already taken effect. Do you think you won like this? Yian looked at the Shield Blade that had been severely injured and said coldly, impossible, Shield Blade, use sleep. Yian specially taught Shield Blade the recovery skill of sleep. The sleep skill is very effective when combined with Shield Blade in a defensive posture. Shield Blade has high double defense in a defensive posture, and Super Diancie's skills are not very effective, so it is difficult to defeat Shield Blade in a short time. Yian just took advantage of this and used the sleeping skill to continuously consume his energy, making himself invincible. The Shield Sword monster put the shield in front of him to protect his whole body, and then quickly went to sleep. And the health points that had been knocked down were quickly restored. Chapter 388 The national competition ends. It's really a tough guy. Zhang Cheng couldn't help but sigh as he looked at the Shield Blade monster that fell into a sleeping state. How are you going to fight my Shield Blade monster now? Yian felt that he had already won the game after watching the Shield Blade monster's health recover. The game is not over yet, and it's still uncertain who will win or lose, Zhang Cheng said with a smile. Then I'll have to wait and see how you turn the tables. In Yian's opinion, Zhang Cheng had no chance of winning at all. Super Diancie, use the characteristic exchange. Zhang Cheng's calm voice came out. After receiving Zhang Cheng's order, Super Diancie quickly used the mysterious psychic energy to connect herself and the Shield Blade monster. Under the influence of this energy, the characteristics of the two elves were transformed. The characteristic of the Shield Blade monster became the body of eternal purity, and the characteristic of Super Diancie became the battle switch. However, because Super Diancie does not know how to use the skill of King's Shield, this characteristic has no effect on her. Zhang Cheng's purpose was to replace the characteristics of the Aegis. Now the Aegis is in a defensive posture. After losing the combat switching characteristics, it will not be able to switch to an attacking form. In other words, the Aegis has now become an elf with extremely high defense and extremely low attack. Your Diancie actually knows this skill. Yian looked at the replaced characteristics of the Aegis and felt bad. Can you still be as calm as before? After Zhang Cheng finished speaking, he continued to command Super Diancie to launch an offensive, causing more damage to the Aegis before it woke up. Diancie, use the power of the earth. After restricting the characteristics of the Aegis, Zhang Cheng commanded Super Diancie to start a counterattack. The power of the earth is a ground-based skill that has a good effect on the Aegis. Super Diancie quickly absorbed the power of the earth, forming an energy wave to bombard the Aegis. The Aegis was still in a sleeping state and had no way to defend itself, so it was directly hit by the power of the earth. With Diancie's high special attack and attribute restrained, without the power bonus of the original system, 1/3 of the health of the Shield Blade was knocked down. After being hit by the power of the earth, the Shield Blade naturally woke up. Shield Blade, use Gyro Ball. Yiyan quickly let the shield blade counterattack and activated the steel skill Gyro Ball to control Super Diancie. The damage of the Gyro Ball skill is calculated according to speed. The higher the speed of the opponent's Pokémon is than that of the shield blade, the more damage will be increased. After receiving Yiyan's instructions, the shield blade turned its body into a Gyro Ball and attacked Super Diancie with steel energy. Super Diancie, use guard. Zhang Cheng is still very clear about the mechanism of Gyro Ball. Super Diancie's speed is twice that of the shield blade. Zhang Cheng naturally can't let Super Diancie take this Gyro Ball head-on. Super Diancie quickly created a barrier with the surrounding general energy. The Gyro Ball transformed by Aegislash attacked and continuously hit the barrier, but it failed to break through the defense of Super Diancie. Aegislash's current attack power was too low, and even a full-strength attack could not break the barrier. Super Diancie used the power of the earth again. After defending against Aegislash's steel skill attack, Zhang Cheng commanded Super Diancie to continue using skills to restrain Aegislash. Super Diancie has become very skilled after using it just now, and in a very short time, it condensed a heavy power of the earth to attack Aegislash. Aegislash's speed was too heavy and it was hit by the power of the earth from Super Diancie again, and its health was reduced to only 1/3. Aegislash, use sleep again. Yiyan planned to repeat the same trick and continue to use the sleep skill to restore health, waiting for an opportunity to launch a counterattack. After receiving the order from the trainer, Aegislash absorbed the energy of the psychic system and quickly entered a sleeping state to restore health. That's it, Super Diancie, use the recovery block. Zhang Cheng also gave the order at the same time, asking Super Diancie to use the recovery block. Super Diancie used the psychic energy to form a special light and shot it at the shield blade before the shield blade sleep skill could restore health. The shield blade was not hurt by this strange light, but after entering the sleep state, its health was still 1/3 and it did not recover. The effect of the recovery block skill used by Super Diancie is that it will limit the opponent's Pokémon from recovering health through skills, characteristics and carried items for a period of time. This time, the shield blade not only failed to restore health when using the sleep skill, but also put itself into a sleep state, which was not worth a loss. How could this happen? Why does your Super Diancie have so many special skills? Yiyan looked at the situation in front of him and knew that he was bound to lose, and felt very unwilling. Super Diancie, use the last power of the earth to end the battle. Zhang Cheng looked at Yiyan, who was too excited and did not reply, and commanded Super Diancie to launch an offensive to end the game. Super Diancie skillfully released the power of the earth again, and a large amount of ground energy bombarded the body of the shield blade monster. Attacked by the skill with restraining attributes, the shield blade monster's health was emptied and fell to the ground unconscious. After the referee came forward to confirm that the shield blade monster had lost its ability to fight, he announced the result of this final. The shield blade monster has lost its ability to fight, and the champion of this national competition is Zhang Cheng. After hearing the referee announce the champion, the whole audience was boiling. The instructors and students of Magic City University all rushed to the competition venue and lifted Zhang Cheng into the air. You are really strong. I was a little unconvinced when I lost to you back then, but now I am convinced. Liao Wu walked up and looked at Zhang Cheng with some emotion and said, "You are also very strong." Zhang Cheng responded with a smile. "Congratulations, little brother, you have done what your sister didn't do back then." Bai Yuling came to Zhang Cheng and said happily, "Most of the credit for me winning this national championship is your sister," Zhang Cheng said from the bottom of his heart. Without the financial help from Bai Yuling and the existence of Diancie, it would be very difficult for Zhang Cheng to win the national championship. You have to know that among the top 20 in the national competition, almost everyone is at the quasi-god level, and there are countless super evolutions. To be able to win the championship is your own ability. Not everyone who gets Diancie can win the championship. Bai Yuling looked at the competition venue in front of her and said, "I also encountered a powerful steel-type Pokémon back then, but unfortunately I didn't win in the end. You led Diancie to do what I couldn't do." Chapter 389, Unexpected Incident. While everyone was cheering and celebrating, Yiyan clenched his fists and quietly left the competition venue without anyone noticing. Zhang Cheng wanted to find Yiyan and calm him down, but when he looked at the other side of the competition venue, he had already disappeared. In order to celebrate Zhang Cheng's victory in the national competition, the president and tutors of Magic City University held a celebration banquet for Zhang Cheng. The venue is chosen in the most luxurious 5-star hotel in Kyoto City. On the other hand, at the residence of Kyoto University, 2 law enforcement officers of the Alliance came to the door. "We are law enforcement officers of the Alliance. Is Yutian here? We have something to investigate with him." The law enforcement officer took out his ID and asked. The person who came out to open the door was Luluan. He felt something was wrong when he saw the law enforcement officers, but after all, they were official personnel of the Alliance, so he naturally could not stop them. Under the leadership of Luluan, the 3 came to the hall where Yitian was. "Are you Yitian?" 2 law enforcement officers stepped forward and immediately subdued him. "What do you mean? You want to take my students away in person? At least you have to give us an explanation, right?" The leading tutor Xiaolai stood up and said. "No comment, we are just following orders. If you don't get out of the way, I will sue you for obstruction of justice," the law enforcement officer threatened from behind. "You?" Xiaolai was out of breath when he heard the law enforcement officer's threats, but he couldn't do anything about them. Even though he was a king-level trainer, he didn't dare to challenge the majesty of the Alliance. "Humph," the law enforcement officer snorted coldly and left with Yitian, who didn't say a word. "You guys are pretty quick. You already know about the shield blade monster." On the way to the Alliance Security Bureau, Yitian smiled and said to the law enforcement officer, "Are you confessing yourself?" The law enforcement officer said coldly, "You should know what the consequences of doing this are." "I really don't know," Yitian said sarcastically. "I think you should think about what you should do first." "Huh? What did you say?" The 2 law enforcement officers were a little puzzled. Roar! Roar! A sharp dragon roar sounded, and a Tyrannosaurus suddenly appeared above the 3 people, raising its sharp dragon claws to attack the 2 law enforcement officers. Seeing this, the 2 law enforcement officers threw out the Pokeballs in preparation for battle, but they were still a step too late, and their entire bodies were torn into pieces by the dragon's claws. At the last moment, the faces of the law enforcement officers were full of disbelief. They didn't expect that someone would dare to launch an attack in the urban area of Kyoto. Seeing this situation, the people passing by hurriedly ran away, and soon the whole street was empty. "I'm not too late, am I?" A masked man in black jumped off the back of the storm dragon and said to Yitian. "Well, let's retreat first. If we make such a big noise, the senior members of the Alliance will arrive soon. It will be troublesome to leave at that time," Yitian said calmly. "Okay," the man in black nodded, took out the Pokeball and released an Alakazam. "Woody, use teleport." After receiving the trainer's order, Alakazam used the spoon in his hand to burst out strong psychic energy. This energy wrapped the 2 people and then disappeared directly on the spot. Within a minute after Yitian left, 3 king-level trainers in the Alliance came here. Looking at the scene in front of him, his face turned pale. He didn't expect that someone would dare to openly attack law enforcement officers in Kyoto. The news that law enforcement officers were attacked in Kyoto quickly spread, and Zhang Cheng also knew the news. "What is the situation with Yitian? I felt that something was wrong with him a long time ago, but I couldn't tell." Zhang Cheng looked at the headlines on his mobile phone with some confusion. "Your friend is likely to be involved with the people of the RR organization," Bai Yuling on the side suddenly said. "Why do you say that?" Zhang Cheng asked with some confusion. "Because of the shield blade monster," Bai Yuling said in a deep voice. "As far as I know, the shield blade monster is a spirit that has just been discovered not long ago. This spirit currently only appears on Ghost Island. Is there anything wrong with the Ghost Island?" Zhang Cheng didn't know much about these. Ghost Island exists at the junction of China and Sakura country. It belongs to the high seas area. The R organization occupies this place all year round, Bai Yuling explained. Could it be that Yitian had colluded with the R organization a long time ago? Zhang Cheng found it difficult to accept this matter. "We don't know the specific situation. We will know it after investigation," Bai Yuling said softly. Zhang Cheng picked up his phone, found Yitian's contact information and called him. He wanted to ask Yitian what was going on. "The number you dialed is out of service." Yitian had already left China at this time, and the phone was no longer connected. There would probably be no response if he sent a message. "Sister, I want to know about my father." "What does my father do? Is he related to the R organization?" Zhang Cheng suddenly asked. "It's not time for you to know this." Bai Yuling was a little surprised by Zhang Cheng's sudden inquiry, and then continued, "When you become a champion-level trainer, I will tell you everything about your father." "Okay," Zhang Cheng nodded. Zhang Cheng knew the importance of strength. If his own strength was too weak, he would not be qualified to touch these things at all. What he should do now was to improve his strength. After the national competition, Zhang Cheng and other teachers and students of the school returned to Magic City University. The day of Zhang Cheng's graduation was not far away. He will leave Magic City University in 2 months. There will be no classes in the last 2 months. Zhang Cheng plans to spend all his energy on training Pokémon. Zhang Cheng set a goal for himself to become a king-level trainer before graduation. The requirement for obtaining the title of a king-level trainer is to have 6 Pokémon that reach level 71 and successfully defeat the king-level trainer in the Challenge Tower. After this national competition, most of Zhang Cheng's Pokémon have been upgraded to level 70. In the next period of time, he will upgrade the Pokémon to level 71-72 to ensure that he can directly win the title of a king-level trainer in one go. In this way, Zhang Cheng began his boring training every day, taking the Pokémon to the major training grounds in Magic City to fight Pokémon and train the Pokémon to use their skills. The strength of the Pokémon is also constantly improving in day-to-day training. Chapter 390, Challenging a King-Level Trainer. 2 months passed quickly, and there were only 3 days left before graduation. Zhang Cheng's elves were all upgraded to level 71 or above today. In the morning, urged by the alarm clock, Zhang Cheng got up, washed up, and then took Pidgeot to the Challenge Tower. Zhang Cheng was very familiar with the Challenge Tower. From the entry-level trainer assessment to now, Zhang Cheng has come here to participate in 5 competitions. Thinking of the first time he went to the Challenge Tower with Yeon, Zhang Cheng couldn't help but feel a little emotional. Now things have changed. Pidgeot was very fast, and it took less than an hour to reach the Challenge Tower in Magic City. After entering the Challenge Tower, Zhang Cheng went to the staff to register with ease. After completing the registration, he entered the designated battle room under the guidance of the staff. You are the champion of this year's college national competition. As soon as he entered the battle room, the voice of a middle-aged man came. I also paid attention to the competition some time ago, senior. You are too kind. I am just lucky and won the game by chance, Zhang Cheng responded modestly. Haha, you don't have to be too modest. You can improve your strength to the level of a king-level trainer in just 2 months, which is enough to prove that you are not weak. The young man continued, let me introduce myself. I am Chen Shan, the examiner of this king-level assessment. Hello, Instructor Chen, I am Zhang Cheng from Magic City University. Zhang Cheng also introduced himself politely. Haha, I am not unfamiliar with you. Okay, let's start the game when we are ready. I am looking forward to fighting with you. Chen Shan wanted to see the strength of the national championship champion. Junior is ready and can start at any time, Zhang Cheng said. Okay, the rules of the game are the same as before. Both sides will have a 6v6 battle, Chen Shan said as he entered the battle area. The referee saw that the two were ready and blew the whistle to signal the start of the game. Blizzard King, it's decided to be you, Strider, prepare for battle. This was Zhang Cheng's first battle against a king-level trainer, and he chose to send out the Pokémon Strider. Chen Shan sent out Blizzard King with the Snowfall attribute. As soon as Blizzard King appeared, the entire battlefield turned into hail weather. A large amount of hail fell, and other elves except Ice attribute would continue to be damaged, and the Blizzard skill would become 100% hit rate. As soon as the Blizzard King appeared, Zhang Cheng guessed that the opponent was a snowy team. According to the battle habits, Zhang Cheng immediately turned on the detection system to check the data at Blizzard King. Name, Blizzard King, level 71, gender, male qualification, 8 attributes, ice, grass carried items, unmelting ice, ice that will never melt. The power of ice attribute skills used by the Pokémon will be enhanced after carrying it. Basic skills, glare, fine snow, flying leaf blade, frozen wind, grass flute, bluff, white mist, gravel, blizzard, rooting, mallet, absolute zero, frozen fist learning skills, frozen beam, solar beam, earthquake, hold, shadow clone, rock slide, hail, ice breath inherited skills, parasitic seed, rocket headbutt, magic leaf, avalanche characteristics, snowfall. When a Pokémon with this characteristic appears, the battlefield will be turned into hail weather. Note, Blizzard King. A tree ice Pokémon is the evolved form of Snow Hat. It appears when the snowflakes are in full bloom, and disappears when the petals fall. Blizzard King, use Leaf Blade, because ice attribute skills are not very effective against Frog, Chen Shan chose to let Blizzard King use grass attribute skills to attack. Originally, Chen Shan thought Zhang Cheng would choose to send out a flying-type Pokémon, so he chose to use the snow team to deal with it. Unexpectedly, Zhang Cheng actually sent Frog. Frog's fighting attribute skills also restrained Blizzard King. The attribute restraints of both sides offset each other, forming a fair duel. After receiving the trainer's instructions, Blizzard King quickly absorbed grass attribute energy and turned into leaves. The leaves carried rich grass attribute energy and became extremely sharp. Leaf Blade condensed into shape and quickly attacked Frog under the control of Blizzard King. Frog, use Explosion Punch. Zhang Cheng chose to fight head-on. Although Leaf Blade restrained Frog, Frog's Explosion Punch could also restrain Blizzard King. Yobo. Yobo, Frog clenched his fists, gathered all the fighting energy into his fists, and then used his legs to rush towards the incoming Leaf Blade. The explosive fist covered with fighting energy collided with a Leaf Blade, and a large number of leaves were smashed by Frog. After smashing these leaves, Frog suffered a certain amount of damage. Frog did not care about the injury, and continued to burst out with power and punch Blizzard King. Blizzard King was hit by this punch, and his health was instantly knocked down by half. His whole body flew backwards and fell into a state of confusion. Frog had a great advantage in this first collision. Blizzard King, use Absolute Zero. From this first collision, Chen Shan knew that Blizzard King was no match for Frog, so he chose to go all out and let Blizzard King use Absolute Zero, which had a chance of killing with one hit. Blizzard King received the order from the trainer and used ice energy to condense the surrounding air directly into an ice column and attacked Frog. Blizzard King is very proficient in Absolute Zero. This skill, which has only a 30% success rate, was successfully used by Blizzard King for the first time. Frog, use Hold. Zhang Cheng naturally couldn't let Frog head on. The ice energy contained in this icicle was very terrifying. Once it came into contact with it, it would be instantly killed. Absolute Zero was not something that normal Pokémon could withstand. Yobo Frog was experienced and had encountered Absolute Zero many times. Before the trainer gave the order, it had already absorbed the general energy around it and started to create a barrier. The extremely cold icicle came into contact with the Hold barrier. The barrier composed of energy was different from that of Pokémon. These energies were not afraid of this special temperature. In the end, this strong Absolute Zero was directly resolved, and Frog's Hold barrier was very effective. Frog, use Hell Roll. After resolving Absolute Zero, Zhang Cheng commanded Frog to launch a counterattack, intending to defeat Blizzard King as quickly as possible. The hail created by the Blizzard King will continue to cause damage to the Frog, so it is best to fight quickly. During this period of time, the Frog has already suffered a lot of damage from the hail. Yobo the Frog controls the fighting energy all over the body. With the blessing of this energy, the Frog's already strong body becomes even stronger. Chapter 391 Snow Demon Girl. Blizzard King, use Hold. Chen Shan had just seen how powerful Zhang Cheng's fast-swimming Frog was. Facing this powerful attack of fighting skills, he decisively let Blizzard King defend. After receiving the order, Blizzard King quickly condensed general energy, but the confusion effect was triggered during the energy condensation. Blizzard King instantly became unconscious and used the general energy he created to attack himself. Not only did he fail to release the Hold skill, but he also got himself into a bad state. The fast-swimming Frog also came to Blizzard King at this time, lifted up Blizzard King's entire body with both arms, and then burst out fighting energy to roll together. After the Hell Roll ended, Blizzard King's health was directly emptied after being hit by the skill that restrained the attribute, and fell to the ground with his eyes spinning. You did a good job, come back, Blizzard King. Chen Shan took back the Blizzard King who had lost his ability to fight. Facing this level of fast-swimming Frog, Blizzard King really had no room to play. Since your Frog is good at fighting skills, I will use it against you. Chen Shan smiled and took out a Pokeball and threw it. Snow Fairy, it's you. Chen Shan sent out the main Pokemon of the Snow team, the Snow Fairy with the Ghost and Ice attributes. When Zhang Cheng saw the Snow Demon Girl appear, he quickly turned on the detection system and checked the specific data of the Snow Demon Girl. Name, Snow Demon Girl, level 71, gender, female, qualification, attributes, ghost, ice carried items, unmelting ice, ice that never melts. After the elf carries this item, the power of ice attribute skills will be improved. Basic skills, glare, fine snow, shadow clone, gravel, frozen wind, bite, frozen teeth, headbutt, hold, ice breath, bite, blizzard, hail, strange wind, same fate, fright, absorbing kiss, will, awakening slap, temptation, shadow ball. Learning skills, inherited skills, scattering, rolling, misfortunes never come alone, avalanche. Characteristics, snow hide. The elf with this characteristic will have a higher dodge rate in hail weather. Notes, Snow Demon Girl, a Pokemon from the snow country, sprays out cold air of -50 degrees to freeze the opponent. The parts that look like the body are actually hollow. Snow Fairy, who has the ghost attribute, is immune to fighting skills. If Frog wants to deal with Snow Fairy, it can only rely on water attribute skills to attack. Snow Fairy, use Will-O-the-Wisp. Chen Shan planned to first put a burn effect on Frog to limit Frog's physical attack. Snow Fairy is very fast. In the hail weather, the snow hiding characteristic is triggered, and the dodge rate is greatly improved. The speed is much faster than Frog. After receiving the instructions from the trainer, Snow Fairy quickly condensed the fire attribute energy to form a ball of flame. After the flame was formed, it appeared strangely in front of Frog. Snow Fairy's action speed was too fast, and Frog had no way to dodge. After being hit by the Will-O-the-Wisp skill, it fell into burn state. After the burn effect was triggered, Frog's health began to slowly decrease. In addition, the hail continued to fall. Frog suffered from the double world of ice and fire, hot inside and cold outside, and its conditions suddenly became very bad. Frog, use water cannon, after the physical attack was restricted. Zhang Cheng quickly changed his combat strategy and commanded Frog to use special attack skills to attack. Yobo the fast-swimming frog gathered the rich water element energy together, and under the control of the fast-swimming frog, this energy formed a water cannon to bombard the Snow Demon Girl. Snow Demon Girl, get out of the way. Chen Shan was very confident in his Snow Demon Girl. The hit rate of the water cannon skill was much lower than other skills. Now the Snow Demon Girl has a very high speed and dodge rate. He believed that the Snow Demon Girl could successfully dodge this attack. The Snow Demon Girl used the characteristic snow invisibility, and her whole body directly merged into the hail. The water cannon fired by the fast-swimming frog lost its target and hit nothing. It's time for us to counterattack. The Snow Demon Girl has done a double whammy. After avoiding the attack of the fast-swimming frog, Chen Shan ordered the Snow Demon Girl to launch an attack. After receiving the order, the Snow Demon Girl strangely appeared behind the fast-swimming frog, and hit the body of the fast-swimming frog with a large number of ghosts in her hands. The skill of misfortunes never come alone was activated, and the fast-swimming frog in abnormal state suffered double damage, and burns and hail continued to cause damage to the fast-swimming frog. The double-powered misfortunes never come alone reduced the health of the fast-swimming frog to less than 1/10. The damage caused by the hail and burns just emptied the health of the fast-swimming frog. Well done, fast-swimming frog. Zhang Cheng took back the fast-swimming frog that had lost its combat ability, and then sent out the second elf to fight. Electric Dragon, it's decided to be you. Among Zhang Cheng's elves, there was no existence that could restrain the Snow Fairy. After comprehensive consideration, Zhang Cheng chose to let the high special attack Electric Dragon fight. Snow Fairy, use the Will-O-the-Wisp again. Chen Shan planned to take all the tricks, and continued to use the Will-O-the-Wisp to add abnormal status to the Electric Dragon, and then used Misfortunes Never Come Alone to attack. The Snow Fairy skillfully condensed a ball of Will-O-the-Wisp and flew quickly towards the Electric Dragon. The Electric Dragon doesn't care about the opponent's attack. Use charging. Zhang Cheng chose to ignore the opponent's Will-O-the-Wisp attack. The Electric Dragon does not rely on physical attack skills, so the impact of this Will-O-the-Wisp is not very big. Choosing to let the Electric Dragon use the charging skill can increase the power of the Electric Dragon's next skill, while also improving the special defense of the Electric Dragon. Most of the Snow Fairy's attack methods are also special attack skills, so using charging is undoubtedly a good choice. Me. The Electric Dragon absorbs a large amount of electric attribute energy and attaches it to its body according to Zhang Cheng's instructions. This energy increases the power of the next electric skill and also increases the special defense of the Electric Dragon. Because the Electric Dragon did not try to avoid the Will-O-the-Wisp, the Snow Fairy's Will-O-the-Wisp hit easily, and the Electric Dragon fell into burn state. Snow Fairy, use the Misfortune. After the Will-O-the-Wisp skill hit, Chen Shan continued the previous tactics and let the Snow Fairy deal high damage through the Misfortune. The Snow Fairy took advantage of the characteristics of the hail weather and quickly integrated her entire body into the dense hail. Don't be anxious, accumulate the electric energy first, and use the electromagnetic cannon quickly after the Snow Demon Girl appears. After the Snow Demon Girl disappeared, the electric dragon was a little panicked. Zhang Cheng found out and quickly spoke to comfort the electric dragon, and then formulated corresponding tactics. After receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions, the originally panicked electric dragon calmed down, accumulated the electric energy in his body, and waited for the opportunity to launch an offensive. The Snow Demon Girl used the snow hidden to suddenly appear on the right side of the electric dragon, and gathered a large amount of ghost energy in her hands to grab the electric dragon. Mimi, after the electric dragon noticed the location of the Snow Demon Girl, it directly released all the electric energy in its body, forming a powerful electromagnetic cannon that hit the fragile body of the Snow Demon Girl. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 392 Snow Team. When the electromagnetic cannon hit the Snow Fairy, she also threw out the ghost energy in her hand. The electric dragon was hit by the skill of Misfortune Comes Alone, and its health value was knocked down by 2/5. Fortunately, it had the special defense of the charging skill, otherwise the electric dragon's health value would be in a more dangerous situation after being hit by this attack of Misfortune Comes Alone. The situation of the Snow Fairy was even worse at this time. She was hit directly by the electromagnetic cannon of the electric dragon with a strong power. Her whole body flew backwards and fell to the edge of the battlefield. The Snow Fairy's defense was not strong. She was knocked down by the high-powered electromagnetic cannon with the charging skill, and she fell into a paralyzed state, and her speed was greatly reduced. The biggest advantage of the Snow Fairy is its speed. Now that its speed is restricted, it is like losing its left and right arms. Electric Dragon, use the thunder attack to defeat the Snow Fairy. Zhang Cheng planned to take advantage of the opportunity when the Snow Fairy's speed was affected and let the electric dragon quickly defeat it with a powerful offensive. If the Snow Fairy's paralysis state is lifted, it will be very difficult for the electric dragon to deal with it. Meow meow. Following the trainer's command, Dragon Knight once again condensed a large amount of electric energy to form a Thunder Dragon. After the Thunder Dragon was formed, it howled to the sky, twisted its body wildly, and attacked the Snow Fairy with powerful destructive power. Facing the Thunder Dragon rushing towards her, Chen Shan did not immediately give orders to the Snow Fairy, but waited until the Thunder Dragon rushed to her before speaking quickly. Snow Fairy, use the same fate. Chen Shan's goal was to let the Snow Fairy exchange the opponent's Dragonite. After the first attack just now, Chen Shan knew that it would be difficult to defeat Dragonite with the Snow Fairy. The Snow Fairy quickly shot out a ghost energy from her body, and this energy almost instantly reached Dragonite. The ghost energy was absorbed into Dragonite's body, and a mysterious connection was formed between the two Pokémon. When one was defeated, the other would also lose its combat ability at the same time. At this time, the Thunder Dragon had already arrived in front of the Snow Fairy, and it was unlikely for the Thunder Dragon to withdraw this attack, so it could only let the Thunder Dragon hit the Snow Fairy. After the Snow Fairy successfully launched the same life skill, she gave up defense and let the Thunder Dragon attack frantically. Under the violent attack of the Thunder Dragon, the Snow Fairy soon lost her ability to fight. The Snow Fairy fell to the ground helplessly, and the effect of the same life skill was also triggered at this time. The relatively healthy Thunder Dragon instantly lost its ability to fight. Come back, Snow Fairy, Thunder Dragon, have a good rest. Zhang Cheng and Chen Shan took out the Pokeball together to take back the Pokemon that had lost its ability to fight. As expected of the champion of the national competition, it is really full of gold. I am looking forward to the next battle more and more, Chen Shan said with a big laugh. The senior is also very strong, but I am very confident in today's battle. Zhang Cheng also likes this kind of evenly matched duel. Go, Swampert. Diffink Sea Lion, it's up to you. Zhang Cheng chose to send out Swampert. Swampert is not afraid of ice skills. Letting Swampert go is to fight hard with the opponent. Chen Shan continued to implement the tactics of snowy weather and chose to send out the ice Pokemon Diffink Sea Lion that can cooperate with the weather. Zhang Cheng turned on the detection system first according to his battle habits, and aimed his sight at the different sea lion. A large amount of data appeared in his mind. Name, different sea lion, level 71, gender, male qualification, 8 attributes, ice, water carrying props, leftovers. The Pokemon will continue to restore health in battle after carrying them. Basic skills, call, find snow, water gun, round, roll, do it again, ice ball, salt water, aurora beam, mountation, sleep, snoring, hail, blizzard, absolute zero, bluff, frozen fang. Learning skills, frozen beam, destruction beam, hold, climb waterfall, rock slide, ice breath. Inherited skills, water waves, water flow ring, belly drum, sleep talking. Characteristics, frozen body. Possessing this characteristic, Pokemon will continue to restore health in hail weather. Notes, different sea lion, an ice-breaking Pokemon. The evolution of the sea demon lion uses huge teeth to break floating ice and swims in the sea, with thick fat protecting its body. As Zhang Cheng expected, the characteristics of Chen Shan's sea lion are a frozen body that can restore health in hail weather. The props he carries are not the common non-melting ice, but leftovers that can match his own characteristics. Sea lion's health and double defense are not bad. With a double blood recovery of the frozen body and leftovers, it can play a very good effect. Sea lion, use hail. The duration of the hail weather is about to end. Chen Shan commands Sea lion to use the hail skill to extend the duration of the hail weather. Sea lion opens its mouth and condenses ice energy to form a large amount of ice clouds that rise into the sky. The hail that was about to disappear quickly recovers, and a large amount of hail falls down, causing Swampert to suffer slight damage. Swampert, use mud bombs. Water skills are not effective against Sea lion, so Zhang Cheng chooses to let Swampert attack Sea lion through ground skills. Gana Swampert skillfully condensed a mud bomb and shot it at Diga. Diga's speed was relatively slow, and it was too late to react to the mud bomb after using the hail skill. The mud bomb landed on Diga's skin, causing a strong explosion, causing considerable damage to Diga, but with a dual recovery of the frozen body and leftovers, the injury was alleviated to a certain extent. Diga, it's time for us to counterattack. Use the blizzard. After creating enough hail weather, Chen Shan began to let Diga take the initiative to attack and take the initiative. Diga slapped the ground with its limbs, and a strong ice energy burst out of its body. The ice energy turned into a large amount of blizzard under Diga's control. In hail weather, the blizzard skill can guarantee a 100% hit rate, and Chen Shan also reasonably took advantage of this advantage. After the blizzard was formed, it blew towards the location of Swampert at a very fast speed, and each snowflake contained ice attribute energy. Swampert, use wide area defense. The blizzard under the hail weather was still very powerful. Zhang Cheng did not intend to collide head-on, and chose to use defensive skills to temporarily avoid the sharp edge. Gana, rock energy gathered around Swampert, forming a dark yellow barrier. Chapter 393 Gaining the Advantage. Countless snowflakes flew and hit the wide barrier condensed by Swampert. The blizzard created a lot of snowflakes, and the wide barrier could resist it at first, but as the snowflakes continued to fall, the wide barrier could not resist it and was smashed into pieces. After breaking through the barrier, there was no obstacle in front of him, and a large number of snowflakes hit Swampert's body. After being resisted by the wide barrier, the power of the blizzard was also reduced a lot, and Swampert's health was knocked down by nearly a quarter. Swampert, use water flow ring. Zhang Cheng knew that this would be a protracted battle. Different Sea Lion had a strong recovery ability. If Swampert's state was constantly consumed, it would definitely not be able to beat the opponent. So Zhang Cheng chose to let Swampert use water flow ring. After the water flow ring skill was activated, the Pokemon would continue to restore health in battle. Gana Swampert used the rich water attribute energy to form a water barrier and attached it to his body. Under the influence of the water ring, Swampert's health is slowly recovering. Diva's attack and defense are both quite good, but its disadvantage is that it is too slow. Diva just started to move after Swampert condensed the water ring. Diva, use the waterfall attack. Seeing Swampert using recovery skills, Chen Shan naturally couldn't let the opponent recover his health so easily, and quickly commanded Diva to attack. Diva showed the fangs in his mouth and roared, and the water energy around all gathered to form a powerful waterfall attack. Swampert, let's use the waterfall attack too. Zhang Cheng commanded Swampert to use the waterfall attack to collide with him. Zhang Cheng was very confident in Swampert's attack power. Garna, the rich water element power surrounded Swampert's body, and his legs rushed towards the attacking diva. Swampert and diva collided in mid-air, huge energy continued to burst out, and the water element power of both sides was constantly depleting. In the end, the water element on Swampert's body was more powerful, and it dispersed all of Diga's energy, and its strong body hit it hard. Diga's fat body was directly knocked out, and its health was reduced to half. Swampert, don't give the opponent a chance, use the poison quickly. After knocking Diga away, Zhang Cheng took the opportunity to let Swampert use the poison. Without the blessing of the poison, it would be difficult to defeat Diga. Garna, Swampert jumped into the air, and a ball of poisonous venom condensed in its mouth and sprayed it at Diga. Diga had just fallen to the ground at this time, and had no time to stand up, so he could only let the venom attack. After being hit by the poisonous venom, Diga's skin instantly turned black, and the poison invaded the body and continued to eat away at Diga's health. As time went on, the power of the poison would become stronger and stronger. Although Diva's recovery ability is very strong, it is only a fixed recovery. The power of the poison will continue to grow. If Diva cannot defeat Swampert in a short time, it will sooner or later be tortured by the poison and lose its combat ability. However, Diva is a relatively balanced Pokémon. Its attack and defense are very good, but it also has no outstanding points. It is not realistic to want to defeat Swampert in a short time. Swampert has the blessing of Water Ring, and the damage caused to Swampert by hail weather is directly offset. Diva, use Blizzard again. As a veteran king-level trainer, Chen Shan is quite familiar with the situation in the field. He knows very well that the only way for Diva to break the situation now is to use the high-powered skill Blizzard with a 100% hit rate in hail weather to eliminate Swampert in a short time. Diva used Blizzard again, but this time the Blizzard was weaker than the last time. The large number of attacks just now had consumed a lot of Diva's physical strength. It's impossible to win a quick battle. Zhang Cheng looked at the rapidly attacking Diva and started the rogue tactics. Swampert, use Defend. After receiving the order from the trainer, Swampert skillfully used the general energy to form a transparent barrier to resist the opponent's attack. A solid barrier stood in front of him, blocking the large amount of snowflakes that were drifting in. The power of this blizzard was equally strong, but it could only barely break the barrier and could not cause any effective damage to Swampert. With the recovery of the Water Ring, Swampert not only prevented the impact of the hail weather, but also slowly recovered the health points that had been lost before. However, the situation of Diva was not optimistic. A large amount of toxins erupted, Diva roared in pain, and its health points increased at an increasingly faster rate. Diva, Freeze Beam. Faced with this situation, Chen Sham could not do anything but try his best to let Diva launch an offensive. Diva used ice energy to form a beam with a freezing effect and shot it at Swampert. However, Swampert has a wide area defense skill, and a wide area barrier was quickly formed, easily dissolving Diga's attack. Next, no matter how Diga launched an attack, Zhang Cheng adopted a defensive strategy. As the battle time prolonged, Diga could not withstand the damage of the toxin after all. When the highly toxic toxin just broke out, Diga could still rely on its own characteristics and the prop leftovers to maintain its health. But now the hail weather has disappeared, the power of the toxin is getting stronger and stronger, and the help that leftovers can provide is minimal. When Diga was about to launch another attack, the toxin in the body reached an extremely strong level, instantly clearing Diga's health. Diga roared in pain and fell to the ground unwillingly. Being tortured by Swampert in this way to lose the ability to fight, Diga felt very aggrieved, but helpless. Thank you for your hard work, Diga. Come back and rest. Chen Shan took out the Pokeball and took Diga back. You are very strong. I feel a great sense of oppression. It has been a long time since I met a challenger as strong as you. Chen Shan couldn't help but sigh. Among the challengers who have fought against him recently, Zhang Cheng is a rare trainer who can gain an advantage and give him a strong sense of oppression. The junior just got a little advantage by luck. It's hard to say who will win or lose, Zhang Cheng responded. Haha, you can't say that. In this 6v6 Pokemon battle, as long as one side gains an advantage and does not make mistakes in strategy, it can continue to gain the advantage to the end, Chen Shan said solemnly. Chapter 394 Venusaur. It's you, Venusaur. Chen Shan said as he sent out his fourth Pokémon, the first-generation Grass-type Pokémon Venusaur. Facing Zhang Cheng's tricky Swampert, Chen Shan could continue to choose to send out Ice-type Pokémon. First, the hail weather had disappeared, and second, the Ice-type skills would hardly suppress Swampert. Taking all factors into consideration, Venusaur would be a very good choice. Zhang Cheng had seen a lot of Pokémon like Venusaur, but to be on the safe side, Zhang Cheng quickly turned on the detection system to check the specific situation of this Venusaur. Name, Venusaur, level 71, gender, female qualification, attributes, grass, poison items carrot, miracle seed, a seed that breeds vitality. The power of grass attribute skills used by the Pokémon will be enhanced when it carries it. Basic skills, impact, call, parasitic seed, vine whip, poison powder, hypnotic powder, slam, leaf knife, sweet fragrance, growth, self-sacrifice charge, trouble seed, photosynthesis, solar beam, petal dance, falling petals learning skills, sword dance, destructive ray, poisonous, hold on, energy ball, stomp, grass knot, hold on inherited skills, mud attack, rocket headbutt, rooting, magic leaf, curse characteristics, lush. A Pokémon with this characteristic will trigger the lush characteristic when its health is below a certain level, and the power of its grass attribute skills will be enhanced. Note, Venusaur, a seed Pokémon, is the evolved form of Bulbasaur. It often stays still in sunny places. Some people speculate that this is evolving photosynthesis and absorbing sunlight to obtain energy. Chen Shan's Bulbasaur is very talented. He has basically learned all the high-powered tricks of the grass attribute, and has mastered a large number of transformation skills, which makes him very difficult to deal with. In addition, Swampert is restrained by grass-type skills 4 times, and the opponent Bulbasaur has no chance of winning at all. Swampert's poisonous routine has no effect on Bulbasaur. There is no way to deal with the Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur, use the parasitic seeds. Chen Shan seized the opportunity to attack first and use the parasitic seeds to fight a protracted war. Bulbasaur's attack power is not strong. Its advantages lie in its persistence, recovery and high defense. When combined with various transformation skills, it will make people very desperate. A seed is fired from the flower on the back of Bulbasaur. The seed quickly falls to the feet of Swampert, and then grows a large number of vines that wrap around its body. After being trapped by Bulbasaur's parasitic seeds, Swampert's physical strength will continue to deplete, while Bulbasaur's health will continue to grow. Swampert's skills were not very effective against Venusaur, and now with the parasite seed, Zhang Cheng decisively chose to take back Swampert. Pidgeot, it's you. Zhang Cheng chose to let the flying-type Pidgeot fight, and Pidgeot's restraining effect on Venusaur was quite obvious. After replacing Pidgeot, the vines that had been wrapped around Swampert's body were retracted, and then quickly wrapped around Pidgeot's body. The effect of the parasite seed will continue. As long as Venusaur does not lose its combat ability or is retracted, the parasite seed will continue to exist, causing damage to the opponent's Pokémon while healing itself. Pidgeot, use Air Slash. Zhang Cheng took advantage of the flying-type Pokémon and commanded Pidgeot to quickly launch an offensive to first knock down Venusaur's health. Beep beep. Pidgeot vibrated his wings, gathering the rich flying-type energy on his wings to form a blade. After the air blade was formed, Pidgeot swung his wings violently, and 2 invisible blades flew out, aiming directly at Venusaur on the ground. Vulpecula, use the mud attack. Facing Pidgeot's attack, Chen Shan did not give in and directly let Venusaur use the more effective poison skills to counterattack. A large amount of toxins burst out of Venusaur's body, and the toxins gathered together to form a thick mud that shot towards Pidgeot. The attacks of both sides were launched at the same time, hitting each other. Venusaur's attack power was not very high, and this mud attack barely knocked off a quarter of Pidgeot's health. However, due to the additional damage caused by the parasitic seeds, Pidgeot's health was reduced to 1/3. The other half of the 2 sharp air blades slashed at Venusaur's abdomen. The double restraint effect of the air slash was very powerful, and Venusaur's health was directly knocked off 3/4. Pidgeot's air slash hit Venusaur's vital position. The air slash skill itself has a mechanism that is easy to hit the vital point. This attribute restraint skill hit Venusaur's vital point. Although Venusaur has good defense, it is difficult to resist. Bulbasaur, use poison. Chen Shan felt a little regretful when he saw Bulbasaur being hit by the air slash. He should have implemented his own tactics and used parasitic seeds and poison to consume it. Bulbasaur should not be allowed to fight head-on. Even if Bulbasaur is full of blood, he should not take risks easily. The success rate of implementing the poisonous tactics is already very low, but he has no other way, so he can only let Bulbasaur try. Bulbasaur nodded to the trainer, and quickly used the poisonous energy in its body to condense into pungent poisonous venom. After the poison was formed, Bulbasaur quickly opened its mouth and sprayed the venom at Pidgeot in midair. Pidgeot, use guard to dissolve the opponent's poisonous attack. Zhang Cheng knew that Bulbasaur had mastered the poisonous skill before the battle began, so he had already taken precautions and would not give the opponent a chance to succeed. Beep. Beep. Pidgeot trusted his trainer's instructions 100%, and immediately started to create a barrier after receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions. A transparent barrier protected Pidgeot and isolated everything from the outside world. The highly toxic venom poured down, landing on the barrier with a harsh corrosive sound, but it failed to break through the barrier to attack Pidgeot. While Pidgeot was defending, the parasitic seed continued to take effect, knocking down Pidgeot's health a little, and Venusaur's health was also restored a little. Pidgeot, use Brave Bird Fierce Attack. Zhang Cheng realized that the parasitic seed was a scourge, and Venusaur must be eliminated as soon as possible, otherwise the parasitic seed will continue to absorb Pidgeot's health indefinitely. Beep. Beep. Pidgeot was also very annoyed by the parasitic seed. After receiving Zhang Cheng's order, he was overjoyed and condensed energy at a very fast speed to attach to his whole body, and then vibrated his wings to launch a powerful attack. Pidgeot's entire body carried an extremely powerful flying energy and rushed straight to Venusaur. Vulpes, use hold. Chen Shan saw that there was nothing he could do, so he could only let Venusaur defend and avoid Pidgeot's most terrifying attack first. Chapter 395, Pidgeot's Defeat. Venusaur has rich experience in defense and is very skilled in defending the barrier. It created a very solid barrier in a very short time. Pidgeot soon arrived in front of the barrier. Facing the barrier that Venusaur had already created, Pidgeot directly crashed into it. Rich flying energy continued to bombard the center of the barrier. Pidgeot gathered the energy on his sharp beak and attacked a point on the barrier with all his strength. Although Venusaur's barrier was strong, it could not withstand Pidgeot's attack. All the energy was gathered together to attack the barrier in one place. The barrier could not withstand such an attack and directly cracked a small hole. The seemingly small loophole had a great impact because the structure of the entire barrier supported each other. Now there was a crack in the middle of the barrier, and the entire barrier directly formed a spider web-like crack with this crack as the center. These cracks continued to spread and finally covered the entire barrier. The solid barrier was directly transformed into countless fragments and scattered on the ground. Beep! After breaking through the barrier, Pidgeot continued to rush forward, and his sharp beak pecked Venusaur's body fiercely. After being attacked, Bulbasaur's already low health value dropped rapidly, and finally it was able to retain a trace of health value under the healing effect of the parasitic seed. Well done, Bulbasaur. Now, use all your strength to use the poison. Chen Sham thought that Bulbasaur would be defeated directly when he saw the moment when the barrier was broken, but he didn't expect that Bulbasaur would withstand the opponent's attack. After reacting, Chen Shan quickly commanded Bulbasaur to use the poison and make the greatest contribution before losing its combat ability. Bulbasaur heard the trainer's praise and commanded, and endured the pain and condensed a strong toxin from the petals on its back to shoot at Pidgeot. At this time, Pidgeot launched a fierce attack with Brave Bird and had not yet pulled away. Bulbasaur's poisonous venom was released and hit Pidgeot directly. Pidgeot, use Lightning Flash. Seeing that Pidgeot fell into the poisonous state, Zhang Cheng quickly commanded it to use Lightning Flash. At this time, Bulbasaur's health value had been seen, and the Lightning Flash skill could ensure that Bulbasaur was defeated in the fastest time to avoid any more accidents. Beep. Beep. After being ambushed, the sniper was very angry. He controlled the general energy to attach to his claws and then attacked Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur was attacked by the Lightning Flash skill, and the last remaining health was emptied, losing its combat ability. The toxins in Pidgeot's body also began to erupt. In the previous battle, Pidgeot had lost nearly half of its health, and now it was in a highly toxic state. The situation was not ideal. Come back, Bulbasaur. Chen Shan took out the Pokeball to take back the Bulbasaur that had lost its combat ability. Next, I'm going to use my ultimate move. If you can defeat the last two Pokemon, you can get the title of a king-level trainer, Chen Shan said to Zhang Cheng. Come on, I'll do my best. Zhang Cheng couldn't wait to get the title of a king-level trainer. Go, Buscadora! Chen Shan's fifth Pokemon to fight is Buscadora, which has the dual attributes of Rock and Steel. Buscadora is a Pokemon with high physical attack and high physical defense. If you want to deal with Buscadora, you need to rely on special attack skills. If you use physical attack skills to attack, even if there is an attribute restrained, it may not cause high damage to Buscadora. Zhang Cheng turned on the detection system, and Buscadora's various data appeared in his mind. Name, Buscadora, level 71, gender, male, qualification, 8 attributes, rock, steel carrying items, metal film, a metal film made of a special alloy. The power of steel-related skills will be enhanced after the Pokemon carries this item. Basic skills, impact, hardening, head hammer, mud throwing, rock blockade, metal claw, hold, roar, iron head, rock slide, slam, metal sound, iron tail, iron wall, self-sacrifice charge, lightweight body, heavy charge, metal explosion. Learning skills, earthquake, poison, sandstorm, bluff, provocation, tile breaking, dragon claw. Inherited skills, resurrection, reckless, invisible rock, double-edged head hammer. Characteristics, hard head. Pokemon with this characteristic will not be harmed even if they use skills with reaction force. Notes, Buscadora, an iron armor Pokemon, can easily destroy hard stones with its 2 horns, and its food is iron products. Chen Shan's Buscadora carries a metal film and uses steel-related skills as its main output method. Of course, with the existence of this rock-type Buscadora, it can also pose a great threat to the flying-type Pidgeot. Buscadora, use the double-edged head hammer. Chen Shan immediately ordered Buscadora to use the most powerful rock-type skill, the double-edged head hammer, to attack. Buscadora slammed his legs on the ground, and a large amount of rock-type energy gathered on the sharp corners on his head, forming 2 rock blades. After the rock blades condensed and formed, Buscadora exerted force with his legs, and his entire body used the sharp corners as weapons to attack Pidgeot fiercely. Pidgeot quickly used defend, facing the opponent's powerful attack. Zhang Cheng naturally did not dare to let Pidgeot collide head-on. Now Pidgeot's condition was not good, so he must give priority to defense, resist the opponent's attack, and then look for an opportunity to counterattack. Beep beep. Pidgeot felt the powerful attack of Buscadora, and all the feathers on his body stood up, and quickly condensed a general type energy to create a barrier. As soon as the barrier was formed, Buscadora launched an attack, and a large amount of rock energy continued to bombard the barrier. The power of the double-edged headbutt skill was already very strong. When it was launched in the hands of Buscadora, who had high physical attack and the power of this system, the power was even higher. The barrier created by Pidgeot had no way to withstand this powerful attack. The barrier was quickly broken, and Pidgeot's abdomen was directly blocked by Buscadora's sharp horns. Pidgeot's body could not withstand such an attack, and now he was poisoned. As long as the barrier was broken, Pidgeot had no way to resolve this attack. The rich rock energy burst out, and Pidgeot's health was emptied, and he fell to the ground and lost his ability to fight. Because Buscadora had the characteristic of a hard head, the reaction force brought by the double-edged headbutt was directly ineffective. After defeating Pidgeot, Buscadora did not lose any health. You did a good job, Pidgeot. Zhang Cheng quickly took out the Pokeball and retrieved Pidgeot, who was falling to the ground. Swampert. Prepare for battle. Zhang Cheng rotated Swampert to fight. Although Buscadora had amazing defense, it also had a big disadvantage, which was that it was 4 times stronger than fighting and ground-type Pokemon. Zhang Cheng was naturally very aware of this, so he chose to send Swampert, who had just fought, to the field. Chapter 396 Super Buscadora. Want to use Swampert to restrain my agitator? Chen Shan was not surprised to see the appearance of Swampert, which was 4 times more powerful than Agitator. He had predicted this situation long ago. Agitator is not so easy to be targeted, Chen Shan said as he took out an evolution crystal, which contained pure steel energy. Agitator, Mega Evolve. Chen Shan used Mega Evolution on Agitator, and the powerful steel energy burst out from the crystal and injected into Agitator's body. With the blessing of this energy, Agitator's body became larger, and its attributes in all aspects were enhanced. It Mega Evolved into Mega Agitator. After evolving into Mega Agitator, the original rock and steel dual attributes became a single steel attribute. After becoming a single steel attribute, the ground and fighting skills that originally restrained Agitator 4 times also had only a double restraining effect. Chen Shan's battle command was very detailed. When facing Pidgeot, he did not immediately let Abramovich Mega Evolve, because after evolving into Mega Abramovich no longer had the Rock attribute. Chen Shan first used Abramovich's Rock attribute bonus to defeat Pidgeot, and then waited until Swampert came into battle before Mega Evolving. Mega Abramovich's single Steel attribute was not so afraid of Swampert's ground-based skills. Meta Abramovich, use Iron Tail. Chen Shan commanded Mega Abramovich to use his steel-based skills to attack. Swampert had a resistance effect to steel-based skills, but Mega Abramovich's physical attack was very high. With a blessing of the metal film and the power of the main system, using steel-based skills could still cause high damage. In addition, steel-based Pokémon would not fall into the poison state, so Swampert's poisonous tactics could not be used. After receiving Chen Shan's order, Mega Abramovich twisted his body suddenly and controlled his Iron Tail to whip towards Swampert. The Iron Tail was filled with powerful steel energy, giving people a very dangerous feeling. Swampert, use Wide Area Defense. Zhang Cheng chose to test the strength of Mosquito's attack first, and then make the next strategic layout. Garna, Swampert absorbed rock energy to form a wide area barrier to resist Mega Mosquito's attack. The hard Iron Tail whipped and shook the wide area barrier to the point of collapse. After a long period of beating, the wide area barrier finally couldn't resist and was directly shattered. After breaking through the barrier, the remaining steel energy was whipped on Swampert's body along with Mega Mosquito's Iron Tail. Wide area barrier consumes a lot of energy, and Swampert's own defense is not weak. This Iron Tail hit Swampert, which has a defensive effect, and knocked off a quarter of its health. Mega Mosquito's attack power is amazing. With its high physical attack and the power of the main system and the increase of props, it can force such high damage despite the attribute restrained. Swampert, Mega Evolve. Seeing that Swampert was no match for Mega Aggron, Zhang Cheng decisively took out the evolution crystal and made Swampert Mega Evolve. Swampert's ground-type skills have a restraining effect on Mega Aggron, but because of the difference in the racial values of the two sides, Swampert can hardly take advantage. Zhang Cheng must get rid of the Steel-type Mega Aggron. Originally, Zhang Cheng planned to leave the ability of Mega Evolution to Diancie. But the sudden appearance of Mega Aggron made him change his tactics. If he didn't get rid of this Mega Aggron first, Diancie would be very passive. Although Mega Diancie's double defense is not weak, it can't withstand the 4 times restraining skill damage of Mega Aggron, a high physical attack Pokémon. Thinking of this, Zhang Cheng immediately changed his tactics and made Swampert Mega Evolve, first using the attribute Restraint to take down this Aggron. Pure ground-type energy and water-type energy shot out from the evolution crystal at the same time, infusing all the energy into Swampert's body. Under the blessing of this pure energy, Swampert's body shape changed, and its forelimbs became 2 huge fists, and its whole body was full of muscles. After completing the evolution, Mega Swampert's attributes were improved in all aspects, and its attack power was no less than Mega Mosquito. Interesting, he actually gave the Mega Evolution to Swampert. Chen Shan looked at Zhang Cheng's choice and felt that this game was becoming more and more interesting. Mega Mosquito, use Iron Head. Mega Mosquito, use Straight Drill. Zhang Cheng and Chen Shan simultaneously commanded the elves who had completed the Super Evolution to attack, both wanting to take the initiative. After receiving the trainer's order, Mega Mosquito gathered all the steel energy in its head. With the blessing of this energy, Mega Mosquito's head became as hard as gold and iron. After the steel energy in its head gathered to a certain extent, Mega Mosquito moved its legs and hit the Mega Mosquito not far away. Garna, Mega Swampert is very aggressive. Seeing Mega Mosquito take the initiative to attack, he was naturally very excited and quickly condensed heavy ground energy on his body. After gathering the energy, Mega Swampert launched a straight drill according to Zhang Cheng's instructions. With the help of ground energy, his whole body continued to spiral in the air, turning himself into a drill to attack Mega Mosquito. The skills launched by the 2 elves were close-range collisions. Mega Mosquito's iron head collided with the body of Swampert. A large amount of energy shock waves spread out. The strength of the elves on both sides was comparable, but Swampert had an advantage in attributes. The rich energy erupted again, and both sides tried their best to suppress each other. As the confrontation time prolonged, the energy erupted by both sides was almost exhausted. In the end, Mega Swampert was more powerful and dispersed all the steel energy created by Mega Mosquito. His strong body turned into a drill and hit the body of Mega Mosquito fiercely. After being hit by this attack, Mega Mosquito retreated repeatedly, and the powerful impact pushed it back more than 10 meters. Its health value also dropped rapidly, and Mega Swampert was hit down by nearly a quarter. Fortunately, Mega Mosquito's physical defense is extremely high, and it can still fight against the attributes that restrain it. Mega Swampert used Mud Bomb. Zhang Cheng saw that physical attack skills were not very effective against Mosquito, so he quickly changed his fighting style and let Mega Swampert use special attack skills. Chapter 397 Super Swampert. Ghana. Mega Swampert gathered a large amount of ground energy to form mud bombs. These muds became extremely unstable under the blessing of energy, forming powerful bombs. Under the control of Mega Swampert, the mud bombs hit Mega Mosquito. Super Mosquito use Metal Blast. Chen Shan chose to let Mega Mosquito use Metal Blast, which can cause counter damage. The skill of Metal Blast returns the damage suffered by the elf to the opponent. Mega Mosquito condensed steel energy on its body and waited for the mud bomb to hit. Soon after Mega Mosquito condensed steel energy, the mud bomb quickly hit Mega Mosquito's body. Mega Mosquito's special defense is not high. Suffering from this attribute restraint skill damage, the health value quickly decreased and was hit to half. After being hurt, Mega Mosquito let out a happy low roar, and all the steel energy in his body burst out and rebounded to Mega Swampert. A powerful steel energy came and bombarded the body of Mega Swampert. Mega Swampert was hit by this attack and its health was reduced to 2/3. Because Swampert was resistant to steel skills, the damage reflected by this metal explosion was not very high. Super Swampert continued to attack, used mud shooting. After the special attack round type skills just now achieved good results, Zhang Cheng continued to let Mega Swampert launch an offensive, using the weak points of Mega Mosquito's special defense to carry out targeted attacks. Ghana Mega Swampert opened its mouth and spit out a large amount of mud containing ground-type energy. Groups of mud kept flying out and hitting Mega Mosquito's body. Mega Mosquito was obviously very afraid of this energy, and kept roaring, and its health was also continuously decreasing. Super Mosquito used the Dragon Claw to smash the mud. Chen Sham commanded Super Mosquito to use the Dragon Claw, using the sharp Dragon Claw to break the mud. Super Mosquito madly absorbed dragon energy, and a large amount of dragon energy formed a Dragon Claw Phantom in his hand. When Super Mosquito waved his palm, the Dragon Claw Phantom also waved together, breaking up all the mud that attacked. Super Swampert used Water Ring. Zhang Cheng took advantage of the time when Super Mosquito was resisting the mud shooting and asked Super Swampert to use Water Ring. Super Swampert already had a resistance effect on Super Mosquito's steel skills. Now with a continuous effect of Water Ring, it would be difficult for Super Mosquito to defeat Super Swampert. Ghana, Super Swampert formed a special energy barrier with the power of water element to fit the surface of the skin. Under the blessing of this gentle water element energy, Super Swampert's health was recovering at a relatively slow speed. Don't give the opponent a chance to recover. Mega Mosquito used the poison attack. After Mega Mosquito smashed all the flying mud, Chen Shan quickly ordered it to use the poison, trying to let Mega Mosquito use the poison and its own strong defense to consume Mega Swampert. This trick is useless to me, because I am too familiar with this tactic, Zhang Cheng said as he looked at Mega Mosquito who launched the poison. Super Swampert, White Area Defense. As soon as he saw the poison skill being launched, Zhang Cheng organized Mega Swampert to defend and would not give Mega Mosquito any chance. Ghana Swampert has rich experience in dealing with it. After receiving the order from the trainer, it quickly condensed rock energy to form a barrier. A deep yellow barrier was formed to block Mega Mosquito's poison. Although the poisonous venom can easily penetrate the skin, there is not much to do when facing this barrier condensed by rock energy. Although the poisonous venom was trying its best to penetrate the wide area barrier, it was still useless. In the end, the wide area barrier successfully resolved Mega Mosquito's attack. After this attack failed, Mega Mosquito was in great danger. It's time for us to launch an attack. Mega Swampert used the most powerful mud bomb. After resolving the poisonous skills, Mega Mosquito had no chance to threaten Mega Swampert. Ghana, Mega Swampert launched an attack under Zhang Cheng's command, gathering all the ground-based energy that could be absorbed together to form a very powerful mud bomb. After the mud bomb appeared, Mega Swampert raised his arms and threw the mud bomb at Mega Mosquito. At this time, Mega Mosquito had no time to react and was directly hit by Mega Swampert's Mud Bomb. After the Mud Ball touched Mega Mosquito's skin, it exploded quickly, and the powerful impact blew Mega Mosquito away and smashed it hard on the ground. After being hit by this powerful blow, Mega Mosquito's health value quickly decreased, leaving only the last quarter. Super Mosquito used Reckless Attack. Chen Shan still did not intend to give up, and continued to command Super Mosquito to attack, wanting to use the special effect of Reckless Attack to reduce Mega Swampert's health value. Super Mosquito desperately absorbed energy, gathered all the general energy together, formed a fierce offensive, and slammed into Mega Swampert with its huge body. It's useless. Super Mosquito's speed is too slow. Super Swampert, use defend. Zhang Cheng continued to command Super Swampert to defend. As long as Super Mosquito wanted to cause trouble through special skills, Zhang Cheng would decisively defend. Ghana. Speaking of defense, Super Swampert must be the best. After Zhang Cheng's order was issued, it quickly collected energy and quickly formed a thick barrier in front of it. Super Mosquito's entire huge body hit, and the barrier began to shake constantly, but it just didn't break. In the end, Mega Mosquito used up all of its power and barely managed to crack the barrier, but now it was meaningless to break the barrier. Because Mega Mosquito had used up all of its power, it could only let Mega Swampert fight back. Well done, Mega Swampert. Use mud shots continuously to eliminate Mega Mosquito. Zhang Cheng excitedly commanded Mega Swampert, wanting to finish off Mega Mosquito as soon as possible. Chapter 398 The Last Elf. Ghana. Mega Swampert was also very excited. It couldn't wait to defeat the powerful Mega Mosquito in front of it. After receiving Zhang Cheng's order, Mega Swampert used its limbs to continuously absorb the energy contained in the ground. Its entire body turned into a turret, absorbing energy through its limbs and transporting it to its mouth, and then spewing out a large amount of mud with the ground-based power. Countless muds were continuously fired out and hit Mega Mosquito's body. The exhausted Mega Mosquito was beaten back by the mud, and injuries continued to appear on its body, and its health value dropped rapidly. Super Mosquito, defend quickly. Use hold. Chen Shan saw this and thought it was not good, and quickly asked Mega Mosquito to use defensive skills, at least to withstand this wave of attacks from Mega Swampert. Super Mosquito heard Chen Shan's order, but at this time it was constantly attacked by mud and had no way to absorb energy to create a barrier. As long as Super Mosquito had the slightest intention of gathering energy, it would be interrupted by the continuous mud. In the end, Super Mosquito still couldn't withstand the bombardment of Super Swampert, and its health points were quickly emptied. After losing its combat ability, Super Mosquito's size began to shrink, and a particularly pure steel energy flew out of its body and returned to the evolution crystal in Chen Shan's hand. Without the support of the evolution crystal, Super Mosquito degenerated into Mosquito. Thank you for your hard work, Mosquito. Chen Shan took back Mosquito, who had lost his combat ability, and then looked at Zhang Cheng at the other end of the battlefield and said, "You are stronger than I expected. Next, I will send out the last Pokémon of this assessment. As long as you can defeat him, you can get the title of a king-level trainer." Chen Shan reminded, "My last Pokémon is not easy to deal with. You have to be careful. Come on, senior. I have been looking forward to it for a long time." Zhang Cheng also got into the state and responded excitedly. "Okay, go, Articuno." Chen Shan quickly threw out the last Pokéball in his hand. His last Pokémon turned out to be a second-level God Articuno. It's actually Articuno. This kind of god pet is very rare. Zhang Cheng was also seeing a god beast for the first time, and he was also very surprised. He quickly turned on the detection system to check the specific data of this Articuno. Name, Articuno, level 71, gender, female. Qualification, S attributes, flying, ice-carrying items, unmelted ice, ice that can isolate heat. When the Pokémon carries it, the power of ice attribute skills will be increased. Basic skills, wind, fine snow, white mist, gravel, heart's eye, primal power, freeze drying, high speed movement, reflection wall, hail, tailwind, ice beam, blizzard, feather roost. Absolute zero. Learning skills, flying, roaring, destruction ray, poisonous, guard, steel wings, swallow return, free fall, aurora curtain. Inherited skills, none. Characteristics, sense of oppression. Pokémon with this characteristic will greatly reduce the PP value of the opponent's skills in battle. Notes, Articuno, A frozen Pokémon, lives deep in the snowy mountains. It is said that when flying, its long tail will flutter in the wind. Through the detection system, Zhang Cheng also has a lot of understanding of Articuno. Chen Shan's Articuno carries the item Unmelted Ice, which obviously uses ice skills as the main means of output. Articuno, use Blizzard. Chen Shan immediately ordered Articuno to use high-powered ice skills to attack, not giving Mega Swampert any chance to breathe. Articuno flapped its wings and flew high into the sky, with rich ice energy surging around it. With the blessing of this energy, Articuno created a large number of snowflakes in the air. After the snowflakes with ice energy appeared, Articuno flapped its wings with all its strength, blowing the snowflakes all over the sky towards Mega Swampert. Mega Swampert, use Rock Slide. Zhang Cheng planned to fight hard, because he still had 2 Pokémon that could fight, and he had enough confidence. Although the Rock Slide skill launched by Mega Swampert was not a skill of its own type, it had a 4-fold restraint effect on Articuno. Articuno has the dual attributes of flying and ice, both of which are restrained by the rock type. Zhang Cheng chose to let Mega Swampert consume Articuno's health first, and try to defeat Articuno. If he failed, he would let Diancie take the blame. Diancie is a rock-attributed Pokémon, and the power of the rock-type skills she uses is already amazing. With 4 times the power, it may even kill Articuno in seconds. Ghana, facing the legendary beast Mega Swampert, she showed no fear, but became more and more courageous. She directly used rock-type energy to create a rockfall and smash Articuno. The rock-type energy created a large number of energy stones above Articuno's head, and these energy stones fell with rich rock-type energy. Countless snowflakes fell on Mega Swampert's body. The seemingly light snowflakes had a fatal effect. After being hit by this blizzard skill, Mega Swampert suffered heavy damage, and its health was directly reduced to only 1/3. The attack power of the legendary beast is very strong, and Mega Swampert is not in such a good situation now. At the same time when Mega Swampert was attacked, the Rockfall skill also hit Articuno. Articuno was hit by this 4-fold restraint rock skill, and its entire body fell rapidly, smashing onto the ground, with 2/5 of its health being knocked off. It was a pity that Mega Swampert's Rock Slide skill had no props and the power of the original system, otherwise it could have played a better effect and hit Articuno's health to a very dangerous level. Mega Swampert, use Poison. Zhang Cheng saw that a head-on collision would not have a good effect, so he immediately started to play a routine and commanded Mega Swampert to use Poison. If this attack could hit, it would definitely turn the situation around. Ghana the long-term continuous battle caused Mega Swampert to consume a lot of physical strength. After receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions, he quickly absorbed Poison attribute energy to produce poisonous venom. The rich venom sprayed out of Mega Swampert's mouth, aiming directly at Articuno in the air. "Come on, I'll tell you the same thing. This trick is useless against Articuno," Chen Shan said confidently as he looked at the poisonous venom fired by Mega Swampert. "Articuno, use your flying skills to avoid the poison before attacking." With his rich command experience, Chen Shan instantly thought of the best response strategy. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 399, Battle with Articuno. Following Chen Shan's instructions, Articuno flapped its wings and flew high into the sky. Articuno was very proficient in flying skills, and in an instant it escaped from the attack range of Mega Swampert. This flying skill directly resolved the attack of Mega Swampert. After dodging this critical poison, Articuno quickly swooped down and attacked Mega Swampert before he could defend himself. A large amount of flying energy hit the body of Mega Swampert along with Articuno. After receiving this attack, Mega Swampert's health was knocked down by 1/4. If it weren't for the water ring that increased Mega Swampert's health, Mega Swampert would have lost its combat ability now. "Good job, Mega Swampert, let's use a water cannon." Zhang Cheng saw that Mega Swampert had withstood Articuno's attack, and hurriedly seized the opportunity to command Mega Swampert to launch a final counterattack. Ghana, Mega Swampert seemed to have transformed into a turret, gathering all the water attribute energy in its body together, and then spewed out a powerful water cannon from its mouth. "Articuno, don't give Mega Swampert a chance to attack, use the freezing beam." Chen Shan didn't want to be knocked down too much by Mega Swampert, because Articuno still had to face the powerful mythical beast Diancie. Without a relatively healthy life value, Articuno would have a hard time winning. Articuno spread out a pair of ice crystal wings, and burst out rich ice energy from its body to form a freezing beam, which was shot at Mega Swampert before the water cannon was fired. When Mega Swampert was about to fire the water cannon, a blue-white beam came and touched Mega Swampert's body, directly freezing the water cannon and Mega Swampert that were about to be fired. This freezing beam of Articuno triggered the freezing effect attached to the skill, causing Mega Swampert to fall into a frozen state. After falling into the frozen state, Mega Swampert's health points were also emptied, and it fell to the ground. As Mega Swampert fell to the ground, the ice that trapped Mega Swampert also melted, and a mixture of ground and water attributes flew out of Mega Swampert's body and returned to the crystal in Zhang Cheng's hand. Mega Swampert's body quickly shrank and turned into Swampert. "I have tried my best, come back and rest, Swampert." Zhang Cheng took back Swampert, and then took out Diancie's Pokeball. Next is the final showdown. "Diancie, it's your turn." Zhang Cheng threw Diancie's Pokeball, and a red light was emitted. A very cute Pokemon appeared in the air in the battlefield. "Articuno, hurry up and use Feather Roost." Chen Shan wanted to use the time when Zhang Cheng rotated Pokemon to restore Articuno's state. Just now, Articuno was hit by the rockfall caused by Mega Swampert and lost some of its health points. Articuno gently flapped its wings and turned the flying energy into a gentle light and absorbed it into its body. With the injection of a large amount of flying energy, Articuno's health quickly recovered to its peak state. The damage caused by Mega Swampert to Articuno was not very high, and using Featherfall once was enough to restore its status to full. Even if the status is restored, Articuno can't be a match for Diancie. Zhang Cheng has absolute confidence in his Diancie. "Diancie, use the Power Gem." Zhang Cheng quickly commanded Diancie to use the rock-type skills that absolutely restrain Articuno. Although Diancie has not mega-evolved, the power of the rock-type skills she uses is equally amazing with the blessing of props and the power of her own system. Diancie herself has a good attack value, so the power of the skills she uses is naturally not much worse. After hearing Zhang Cheng's instructions, Diancie floated in the air, raised her hands to control the rock-type energy to form gem-like sharp stones to stab Articuno. "Articuno, use the defense." Chen Shan had a certain understanding of the lethality of Diancie's skills. In the finals not long ago, Zhang Cheng's Super Diancie was able to turn defeat into victory when facing the Steel-type Spirit Shield Blade monster with 4 times the restraint. You can imagine how strong it is. Facing the power gem released by Diancie, Chen Shan had no other choice but to let Articuno defend. Articuno surrounded its body with general energy to create a transparent barrier to resist the attacking power gem. Sharp gems hit the barrier one by one, and the barrier was constantly cracked by these sharp stones. It was about to collapse. "Articuno, hold on, resist this attack." Seeing that Articuno was about to collapse, Chen Shan kept encouraging Articuno. With the support of the trainer, Articuno's energy increased again, and a large amount of general energy was sent to the defense barrier. With the help of this new energy, Articuno barely managed to resist Diancie's first attack. "You resolved it perfectly, but how are you going to resist the next attack?" Seeing Articuno using the defensive skill to resolve Diancie's attack, Zhang Cheng looked like he had everything under control. "Diancie, use your best Diamond Storm." Zhang Cheng's order was quickly issued, and at this moment his purpose was completely revealed. The power gem just now was just a feint, and the purpose was to trick Articuno out of his only defensive skill. Now that the defensive barrier has been lost, how can Articuno resist Diancie's attack, which is even more terrifying than before? Diancie gathered all the rock energy around her body on the diamond above her head. Through the influence of this strange diamond, the absorbed power turned into energy diamonds. A large number of energy diamonds condensed and formed. Diancie waved her hands, and these diamonds were released at the same time, forming a diamond storm that attacked Articuno. "Articuno, use the Eye of Heart on the spot." Chen Shan originally wanted Articuno to use the flying skill to avoid the damage of the diamond storm, but it was too late. In this situation, Chen Shan decided to give it a try and command Articuno to use the Eye of Heart. As long as Articuno can withstand this attack, he will have a chance to win. Articuno trusts Chen Shan very much. When a large number of energy diamonds attacked, it calmly condensed energy to use the Eye of Heart and gave up defending. If the Eye of Heart is used successfully, Articuno's next attack will have a 100% hit rate. That is, the next moment after Articuno's Eye of Heart is used successfully, the Diamond Storm swept in, and the terrifying rock energy continued to bombard Articuno's body. After suffering this attack, Articuno was covered with the wounds, and his health value dropped sharply, and it was about to reach the bottom. Chapter 400 Becoming a King-Level Trainer. The terrifying Diamond Storm swept over, and with a triple blessing of quadruple restrained, the power of the original system, and props, it hit Articuno's body hard. The full-blooded Articuno was directly beaten to less than 1/6 of its health, but Articuno held on with its tenacious will. It's a pity that Diancie didn't super-evolve, otherwise with a high attack power of Super Diancie, Articuno would definitely kill with one hit. Zhang Cheng felt a little sorry for the undefeated Articuno. Articuno, well done. Chen Sham saw that Articuno had withstood Diancie's Diamond Storm, and his eyes lit up immediately, and he quickly issued the final combat order. Articuno, use Absolute Zero. Chen Shang's ultimate goal was revealed. He let Articuno risk his life to use the Eye of the Heart, just to ensure the hit rate of this Absolute Zero. The power of Absolute Zero is very terrifying. It can kill with one hit after contacting the elves, but the flaw is that the hit rate is extremely low. Even if this skill is practiced to the extreme, the hit rate is only about 30%. This hit rate is too low, and generally people will not choose to use this skill until there is no other way. Now that Articuno has mastered the skill of the Eye of the Heart, it is different. As long as the Eye of the Heart is successfully activated, the next Absolute Zero skill can be guaranteed to be successful 100%. Articuno's whole body bursts with a strong cold light, and the ice attribute energy of the entire battlefield is gathered together, and the temperature around it drops immediately. Around Articuno, the temperature has reached the Absolute Zero that can freeze the air. Articuno uses ice energy to condense the air in front of it directly into an ice column. The ice column carries the Absolute Zero that can instantly kill the elves. Any elf that touches this Absolute Zero ice column will be destroyed in an instant. After the extremely cold ice column is formed, Articuno flaps its wings and shoots the ice column at Diancie. As long as this ice column made of Absolute Zero can hit Diancie, Articuno will turn defeat into victory. Diancie, use the defensive skill. Zhang Cheng was naturally very aware of this, and secretly said that it was not good. He quickly ordered Diancie to defend and must not be touched by the icicles. Diancie also felt the terribleness of this attack, and instinctively created a transparent defensive barrier to block the attacking icicles. The icicles hit the defensive barrier, and the extremely low temperature directly froze the barrier. After being frozen, the barrier became very fragile and cracks soon appeared. Seeing this situation, Zhang Cheng knew that the defensive barrier could not hold for too long, and hurriedly ordered Diancie to use other defensive skills. Diancie, give up the defensive barrier and use wide area defense. After receiving Zhang Cheng's instructions, Diancie directly gave up maintaining the defensive barrier and gathered all the energy together to form a dark yellow wide area barrier. Because the defensive barrier had no energy support, it was quickly shattered by the icicles. After breaking through the first defensive barrier, the icicles quickly hit the second wide area barrier. Because the wide area barrier is made of rock energy, it is extremely strong, and even the cold air of Absolute Zero cannot penetrate it. Unable to disintegrate the barrier from the inside, the icicles have to use brute force to continuously hit the barrier. There is a continuous piercing sound from the barrier, and the icicles burst out to continuously hit the barrier with all their strength. But this is not very meaningful. No matter how the icicles hit, the wide area barrier will not move at all, and Diancie will be firmly protected inside. Absolute Zero can destroy everything because it can freeze it, and it will be very fragile after being frozen. But the energy of the wide area barrier is very strong, and Absolute Zero cannot freeze it. In the end, the ice energy in the icicles is completely exhausted. After losing the energy blessing, the icicles also melted and turned into a pool of water and fell on the ground. Diancie, use Rock Blockade. After resolving the terrifying attack of Articuno, Zhang Cheng quickly organized a counterattack and let Diancie use the rock-type skills that restrain Articuno. Diancie floated in the air, transforming a large amount of rock energy into 4 huge rocks, which appeared above Articuno. After all 4 rocks were successfully condensed, Diancie withdrew her power, and the rocks, which lost gravity, quickly fell on Articuno's body. The previous Absolute Zero had consumed a lot of Articuno's physical strength, and now there was no time to avoid the rock blockade created by Diancie. After being hit by the rocks, Articuno fell directly to the ground and was buried by 4 rocks, and the remaining life value was emptied. Articuno loses its combat ability, and challenger Zhang Cheng wins. After seeing Articuno fall to the ground, the referee blew the whistle to announce the final result of the game. Congratulations, now you have officially become a certified king-level trainer of our alliance. Chen Shan took back Articuno and said to Zhang Cheng with a smile. Thank you, senior, I just won by luck, Zhang Cheng responded. Haha, it's rare for a young man to be neither arrogant nor impatient. Okay, the assessment is completed, you can go to register for certification, Chen Shan said. Zhang Cheng and Chen Shan continued to chat for a few words before leaving the battle room, and then registered their information under the guidance of the staff. After the registration was completed, Zhang Cheng became a king-level trainer, which was also considered a master. There are not many king-level trainers in the entire China, and it is rare to become a champion-level trainer. After all the procedures were completed, Zhang Cheng took the elves to the treatment room for treatment. After settling the elves, he went to have lunch. It was afternoon, and under the care of the medical staff, the elves' injuries had all recovered. After expressing gratitude to the medical staff fighting on the front line, Zhang Cheng took the elves out of the challenge battle and took the Pidgeot back to Magic City University. There are still 3 days before graduation. Zhang Cheng is quite satisfied to be able to become a king-level trainer before graduation. Zhang Cheng suddenly thought of the time when he was in Jiangcheng No. 1 middle school. I remember that it was also a few days before the college entrance examination that he and Yi Yan went to take the assessment of elf-level training together. It's another graduation year, but Yi Yan is no longer around, and now the two have their own different lives. I just hope that next time I meet that guy, we won't become enemies, Zhang Cheng said helplessly. Thinking of this, Zhang Cheng felt a little irritated and went directly to the school cafeteria to eat and drink, relieving stress through food. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.